Today on Terrors of Tubi, we discuss Train to Busan and the many layers that come together to make this a wonderful movie experience. As zombies wreak havoc and society fights with itself, we invite you to ask, who really is the bad guy in this movie? Also, side note, we got a puppy, so you'll hear him pipe up every now and then. Trust me, his film critique is solid, so he is here to stay.
Calling all scream queens, gore hounds, video nasties, and final girls. Turn up the lights and turn on the horror as we explore Tubi's frightening video vaults with the Terrors of Tubi podcast. No one is safe as we hit horror history, commentary, and more with your hosts, the Terror Squad.
Right?
Well, I don't get that.
Well, all of us pulling up the movie to check the first thing.
To avoid fainting, keep repeating, it's only a podcast, only a podcast, only a podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Terrors of Tubi podcast. This is your humble spooky team. I'm Ryan.
I'm Laura.
This is Joe.
And we are here to talk about an awesome, spectacularly spooky, and just all around amazing film, Train to Busan. This little Korean import came in a few years ago, and it has continued to deliver on every watch, I feel like, every single time. Let's talk to the group, though, and kind of figure out, how everyone felt about it, and just see, where ratings fall and that sort of thing. So how about we start with Laura? And Laura, kind of tell me a little bit about your history with this movie and just, where it falls on the rating scale for you.
Yeah. Well, this is exciting because I think we're all universally stoked on this movie. And as much as I love a good round of fisticuffs, when we disagree, I think a little love fest will be a good time. So I've seen this movie. I want to say this was maybe a third watch, which honestly, for as much as I like the movie, I wish I spent more time with it. Words are hard. English is hard, which is ironic because I think part of the reason that I don't revisit it as much as I'm very much a sub, not dub kind of gal, unless explicitly told that the dub is great, right? Yeah. For a foreign film. But I also find that a lot of the time when watching films, especially if I'm on my own, I'm scrolling on my phone or doing something else, which I know is like a big no-no, but I find it harder than sometimes to revisit films in a language that I don't speak because I have to be paying really hyper close attention. So please. I
was going to say, I'm very aware of that. So when I do put on a foreign film, I literally put my phone in sleep mode. And it's actually, sometimes it's even more relaxing, right? Because with English movies, I don't think to do that. So I do sometimes I will end up on my phone. Whereas in foreign films, my phone is off, and I'm not paying attention to it. And it just feels like
absolutely
I don't have anything bothering me.
And because of that, a lot of the time it does end up, for me, at least, being a richer experience. So I think that's great. And this film definitely falls in that. I like K-horror anyway. I think we'll probably talk about our relationship with other movies, but I love The Wailing, I love Gonjiam, Thirst, A Tale of Two Sisters, Handmaiden, if we can call The Handmaiden horror, which I think is also a discussion.
That's true. Wait, Joe, have you seen any of those other movies?
Just The Wailing.
The Wailing, okay.
If I was going to watch one from that list, it would probably be The Wailing, but the other ones rule also.
Tale of Two Sisters too.
Yeah, that's why I think I said Tale of Two Sisters.
No, you didn't. Sorry. I just mean as far as going back and rewatching one, I was going to do it right now. Definitely The Wailing, but Tale of Two Sisters I think would be a close second for me.
I love all of them. I can wax poetic on any of those. But so I, in general, am someone who is kind of burned out on the zombie thing and I didn't see it right in 2016 when it came out, but I saw it probably 2018-19, I want to say, and I was still pretty zombied out at that point. But I think this movie is so interesting to me from a visual perspective and is so well paced and you care about the characters. We'll get into, I'm sure, the nitty gritty of why we all love this movie, but I would give it probably an 8.5 or a 9, to be honest. I think that if I'm going to sit down and watch a zombie movie, there's a fairly good chance it will be this one, if I have to watch one.
Is that an individual watch or a group watch?
Well, okay. As we often qualify, for me, that's individual. I think that, I don't know that I think it would be tremendously different with a group, because I think at this point, even if someone hasn't seen it before, there aren't a lot of surprises other than visually, and that like the pace can kind of take you aback, I think.
Yeah.
But in terms of like plot twists or whatever, I don't think it's the sort of thing you'd be watching in, a packed theater and people go, "Ah!" It's just not that kind of movie to me. So I would say that they'd both be around the same, like 8.5 or 9 in a group, provided the group isn't someone who is lame about watching a movie with subtitles.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe?
So this was my first time watching Train to Busan. It's been on the list for a very long time, and I just never got around to it, which is a terrible excuse. I don't mind subtitles. It was nothing against that. Do not like dubbed. I'm with you there, Laura. Like if it's not subtitled, and it's a foreign film, I'm probably not going to watch it because it's just not the same. Like I said, been on the list for a while, and for some reason just never got around to it. And I feel like every time I remembered, it's time to watch Train to Busan, I'd check, and it would be like the one time it like stops streaming, because I feel like it's always on there, right? Until you look for it. And then you're like, son of a bitch. Like, of course it's not on there. I also think just, I was a little burned out on the zombie stuff. So that I think was another reason why maybe I wasn't like quick to jump on it. Cause it came out,
2016, that year that literally every movie came out, as Ryan has pointed out before.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm telling you that, I swear to God, that is like going to be one of our big horror movies years we'll always look back on.
Honestly, we should talk about possibly just doing like 3 or 4 episodes in a row where we just knock out all the 2016 movies, so we can just
2016 in review.
But yeah, so I do think that was part of it. Was I had a feeling it was good. Everyone was telling me it was good. It is good. It's borderline great. It's not. I don't think it's like the best horror movie ever made or anything, because it's predictable. It's a predictable zombie movie in my opinion, but it's just really well done in every facet. So I'd give it a solid 8.5, I think. And I also think, Laura, you're right. This is going to be a love fest. There's not much to argue here. I think it's 8.5 individual, 8.5 with a group. I don't think there's a dynamic change where you're like, oh, watching this individually really elevates it, or watching it with a group really like puts me like, in a certain place, like, kind of like how slasher films are generally better with a group because of like 100%. The silliness or the like over the top. So you can like, it's more fun to laugh with a group when like, the one girl makes the wrong turn and that she's going to do something dumb or drop her keys or something. Like there's not, right. This is not that movie, right? It's just really, really well done. So if you watch it with a group of people, everyone's going to go, damn, that was fun. And if you watch it by yourself, you're going to go, damn, that was a good movie. So that's where I'm at on it.
I'm right there with you guys. I'm definitely at like the 8.59 area for like individual watch and group watch, because I do think there won't be many people that like kind of sit through this and just hate it. What I will say is I watched the subtitled and I watched the dub versions for this.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that are on Tubi, by the way. So if you hate subtitles, you can watch the dubbed. I recommend the subtitles.
You. Yeah, we'll just judge you.
But you know what you could do? You could also you could watch the dubbed with the captions on, and those captions are the same captions on the subtitle. So you could technically like enjoy your cake and eat it too, if you really wanted to do the whole thing there, because they don't match the English dubs.
See, that drives me crazy though. Yeah, that drives me crazy because I've done that before on other things. Like you turn on like an anime or something and you realize, oh my god, it's dubbed, so it's gonna suck. And you turn on the closed captioning and you're like, well, that's not even what they're saying. Like this is.
The closed captioning too also is just slightly ahead of the English dub, so you always see what they're going to say. And
why would you put yourself through that?
Why are you recommending this to people?
Audience, don't do this. Don't do this. Unless you've seen Train to Busan like 5 times already, and you're like, screw it, I want to try a different experience here. Don't do what Ryan is saying.
Although, is it true, Ryan? Because I didn't watch it with the English dub, but that some of the actors from the original Korean film dub themselves in the English version?
Oh, I didn't even check. I wasn't sure. I will say the English dubbed is pretty over the top. But who would have done that? Like, I'm
going to look it up, and now I feel like maybe you might need to cut this because I might be wrong. But I'm pretty sure that at least
Ma Dong-seok?
Ma Dong-seok, who's from the Eternals.
He's from the Eternals, right? Because he was born here, right?
Oh, I'm not sure, but in general, there are quite a few folks that I think an English-speaking audience may recognize, even if they aren't super plugged into Korean TV and film. Like you've got, like we were saying, Ma Dong-suk from The Eternals, Gong Yoo from Squid Game. He plays the salesman. And actually, fun fact, Ma Dong-suk was his trainer. I think like before this movie.
No, because they said that in an interview. That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's in the behind the scenes, I think, too.
Choi Woo-sik from Parasite and Okja is in it. Suhee, who is from the K-pop group Wonder Girls, is in it, which I wasn't as familiar with, but I have it on authority from a friend of a friend in Korea, so take that with a grain of salt if you need to. But it would be akin to like Selena Gomez being in a movie like this.
Dang. All right.
So I guess if you're into the K-pop scene, maybe. But anyway, there are a couple familiar faces, and I'm mostly vamping because I don't know if I'm wrong about the dub actors. Hold on, I'm gonna look.
Well, I will say this: if you do watch it with the dubbed, you won't miss out on much, except for the fact that they sort of they skip over like that little detail of the lead calling his work people lemmings. Like that's literally the only thing you miss out on.
I loved that.
Right. And he, he has them in his phone as lemmings too, but so you don't get that part of it at all in the dubbed. But other than that, that's really all you really miss out on. The rest of it pretty much tracks the rest of the movie. So just an FYI, if you're wondering what the difference is. What else can I say? I will say I was burnt out just like you guys in zombie films. Like it really takes a lot for me to sit down and enjoy a zombie movie because I don't know. There's something about zombies that just doesn't creep me out or scare me as much as like other monsters do or other things do like that. So once I saw this movie a little while back, I was like, I saw it on digital, so I didn't get to see it in theaters, unfortunately. But I remember it because it made such a big deal in theaters that the Korean movie theater down the street from us that was playing it was like sold out for weeks. And so that really made me want to go see a Korean movie in the Korean movie theater. And that's when I saw The Wailing because I was hell-bent on going to see a Korean movie in a Korean movie theater. So thank you, Train to Busan. Yeah.
Well, and Train to Busan made like stupid amounts of money. It's like one of the most successful movies that Korea has made, period.
It had like an $8 million budget, and then it almost hit that like $100 million budget range, which I'm sure in, digital rentals, it probably did push that over the top. But like, as far as like, its theatrical run, almost $100 million, which was crazy. And I don't know if you noticed too, there's a sequel, which acts as a prequel. Yes. And then there's also the live action, sequel. Yeah. And I feel like, and I don't know, I couldn't find any information on this. I feel like he sold the prequel actually before this Train to Busan movie.
I don't know, but that could be because this director, who is named Sang Ho-yeon, was an animation director before this. Right. That Train to Busan was his first live action. So, and I believe that that the prequel, which is, what is that called? Seoul Station, maybe?
Seoul Station.
But that came out like less than a month after Train to Busan did, and presumably the animation took longer to do.
I would assume so. He also said that the Train to Busan story was inspired from that movie. So I have to think that. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but.
Well, no, that could be. And I think we could talk about the fact that I think you can tell that this movie was made by someone who has a background in animation. And I think that makes it so special. Like, it's saturated in color, which usually you don't see in zombie movies. That's always like these like really annoying like sepia palettes, and like it's fast paced. It has like some whimsy. The way that the zombies move is really interesting and like almost animated. Like I think it's this really sort of nice hybrid space. And I have not seen Seoul Station nor Peninsula. I'm sitting on my laurels there, but I'd be interested to see, especially for Seoul Station, how it compares style wise. Have either of you watched either of them?
I did watch Seoul Station, and Seoul Station is on Tubi, by the way. So if you do want to check that one out, you can. It's on Tubi. What I will say about Seoul Station is that it's a pretty good story, but I do it might be a little problematic for the female character story in this movie.
Why?
Because, well, okay, so Train to Busan's great, right? Train to Busan has a fairly balanced storyline with all of these characters. In the animated movie Seoul Station, the female character who's sort of like our main protag, she's like a woman who's like slumming it, and she used to be a prostitute, and it's this whole movie where basically the virus happens and she is being tracked down by her like shitty boyfriend and the man who says he's her dad and who turns out to be like her pimp from years ago.
Oh, dear.
And it's just like this whole thing where it's like, it's not handled very well at all.
Or maybe
like
not delicately, considering the plight of the sex worker.
Yeah. And it's just like, she's not her own sort of like individual character thing. You know what I mean? Like, it was, you watch it and you're like, oh man, that's kind of a misstep there, because this woman, one, doesn't seem to like want to get out of her situation, and so like, I mean, she does, she's scared, but like she's not active. I don't know. It's this whole thing where I'm just like, the guy wrote this and like he didn't really think, he thought it from the perspective of like a man. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah,
that's never happened before.
I know. I just like, it's so funny because it's like, now I don't know. It's only a few years old, but it's like, man, this really is kind of a sexist take on women. So.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
noted.
a little problematic there. But
how
if
about
you want
visually in a story vacuum? How about how it looks?
Cool. Yeah, I think it works. I don't know. I'd be curious about Peninsula because I have yet to see Peninsula, so I'd like to see what he did with Peninsula. But Soul Station is good if you want to sort of see what happened before Train to Busan and how it sort of works. And I will say it is way more. That movie is way more anti-government actually. And then you can kind of see how it sort of bleeds into Train to Busan. But like Soul Station really hits you over the head with like, the government is not doing what's supposed to be doing. And it's failing its citizens. And
We've got quite a bit of that in this film too. I wonder if we want to wait until we get there within the plot synopsis, or if we want to talk about that now.
Let's do it. Let's talk about what this movie is. How about we do a logline of the movie? Anyone want to try a logline of the movie?
Joe, our pithy friend Joe.
Joe, you got this. This is so simple, Joe. Come on, you could do it.
All right. Shitty financial advisor father has to protect daughter from zombie apocalypse while trying to deliver her to her mother on her birthday.
On a train
to Busan.
Nice. That's great. That's a great one, Joe. All right. And then just to expand upon it a little bit further, let's do a plot synopsis too, just to sort of like give people a little bit more meat, I guess, to think about. And then we'll hop into, what we liked and what we didn't like, and, the meaning of life within this movie, basically.
Okay.
So the movie starts off with our businessman whose name is, I don't remember his name.
Wait, even before that, because it's such a beautiful shot, we start in the quarantine zone, right?
Good catch.
So we have like the opening shot of the mannequin who's like waving, and I wrote in my notes, match on action is like moi. Like, I think the editing in this movie is so beautiful.
So good. It is.
I'm hooked right away. And I think maybe a question that we can keep in the back of our heads, and I think we're answering, but so we all had zombie burnout. So it's like, why bother watching this movie? I've seen every freaking zombie movie, right? So what makes this different? For me, one big piece is that it's like really lyrical in terms of the style. Like, it's not like the gritty, like Zack Snyder, blah, blah, blah. It's fast, but it's still pretty.
Yeah.
So anyways, we start with that mannequin, and then we go to our shitty fund manager, Suk Woo is his name.
To go back to that intro scene, because you are definitely right to bring this up, because the great thing about that intro scene is that it like injects a little bit of humor right off the bat, right? So it is like, in the lyrical sense that you were talking about, it's really kind of nice to have like this sort of ride start off with like a little bit of a humorous note, a little bit of like a nod to the zombie genre, and it's like, okay, and then we're off, because it's sometimes they just start off with like something super zombified, and you're just like,
I love this because so the farmer, there's a farmer who's like, do not mess with my pigs. Like last time this happened, y'all like killed all my livestock. Do not fuck with my pigs. And, they're like, okay, go through. And he ends up hitting a deer, which, by the way, we're all from the Midwest. I don't know how you feel. I hate deer. I have like a blood vendetta against deer. I almost hit one when I was learning to drive when I was 15, and it is a grudge I have carried for 20 years. They're gross, they're dirty, and apparently they start zombie apocalypses, apocalypti.
They do carry disease, so that's not wrong.
I mean, they got COVID.
Exactly. So anyways, but it is cool because as much as I hate deer, and deer are the worst, it looks awesome because the farmer hits the deer and he's like, oh man, like I'm having such a shit day. And we get to see the deer reanimate, and like it's all beautiful and gross and like dancery, and its face changes. And so we know and it happens in 2 seconds. So we're like, oh shit. this is not good. Like things are fast and they change fast, but also just goddamn it, I hate deer. Thank you.
Laura's not a fan of Bambi whatsoever.
Hashtag Hunter did nothing wrong.
Okay, so we go from that intro scene of zombified Bambi about to take revenge on everyone to this businessman, a hedge fund manager, I guess you could say, Suk Woo, who is a pretty typical corporate shill, right? Like he's in his office and he gets some bad news on an account and he tells his coworker to sell immediately.
And we know literally from his first line, he's a lying liar because he's like, oh, I baby. And then he hangs up and he's got a subordinate who immediately comes in to report to him. So whoever he was just talking to, he was completely lying to. Right. So you get that in one line of dialogue, which I think is excellent. It
is. It's so good. And so then the guy kind of pushes back. He's like, well, if we sell that, there's going to be, aren't we going to have to answer to investors and there's going to be a problem with price and everything else? And he goes, just sell it. So they do. And then he gets a call from his ex-wife in the parking garage. And she's demanding to see his daughter, telling him that his daughter wants to see her for her birthday. And he's, getting into her like, blah, 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 blah. I don't have time to do this. She's
literally in the phone as ex-wife. Like, she's not a person.
As ex-wife, right. Exactly. And so he goes upstairs to his apartment where his mom is taking care of his daughter. And his daughter is under the covers talking to his wife, his ex-wife. And she's telling her mom how she could take the train down to her to see her if she can pick her up at the station. And he turns the light on and daughter hangs up and they talk about why she wants to go down to see her mom for her birthday and how he can't because he's super busy and can't really, do anything. And then he hands her birthday gift and it's a repeat gift, a Nintendo Wii.
Yep.
And he's just not a good dad.
I do love that we get to meet her under a blanket. I think that's so creative. And also, like, in the way that we get to know her dad in one line of dialogue, we get to know her in 1 second of watching her talk under the blanket in secret to her mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great.
She's a great actress, too. She's like, for her age, she really handles her own.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Character's name is Sue An. Did I write down I did not write down the actress's name. I did for everybody else. I'm sorry, Sue-an, actress.
Okay, so
like we see that he's a shitty dad because of the repeat gift, the Wii, and she's like, you don't even know me at all, is the look that she gives. But what the clincher is he goes and talks to his mom and she's like, you need to be a better dad. And she shows him this tape from a recital where Sue-an is singing Farewell to Thee, like Aloha Oi. And she's looking for her dad in the audience. She gets stage fright and she can't finish. And all of her classmates start making fun of her. So she's like, you need to be a better dad. And he's like, yeah, I'm kind of a piece of shit. And then he agrees to take her to Busan.
She also tells him to make up with his ex-wife.
Oh yeah, she does do that. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. That's right. Yep.
And it's so we also get this apocryphal line. We've got a couple of these in this, at least in the translation. I don't know if it's this on the nose in Korean, but whatever you do, you must finish what you start.
Which is fantastic. So they're on their way down to the train station. It's early in the morning. They're in the car and the conversation they're having gets interrupted by firefighters driving through the intersection, right? And it looks like it's starting to snow and the little girl holds her hand out and there's actually ash falling from a burning building. And they look up at the burning building, dun, dun, dun.
It's fine.
And then continue onto the
I also like that they could
train station.
See, I don't know about you guys, but like if I saw a building like that, it looked like, it's a high rise, maybe apartments, or it's, a big office building. And I mean, several floors of this thing are just like ablaze. Like it looks like it could have been a terrorist attack, quite frankly. And if I'm probably not continuing on to the train station. I'm probably turning around based on that.
Joe, he has to do a business.
But I'm just saying, I don't know about you guys, but like, I mean, with how much that building is aflame, I would assume it's probably not a good idea to be out in public with my, 11-year-old daughter, because it looks like someone blew up a couple floors of a
Okay, full disclosure though, as a homebody, it takes like a strong breeze for me to be like, ooh, I should probably stay inside.
I was about to say the same thing. I feel like, I don't know if I would necessarily like get curious and follow the firefighters or anything, but I would probably just keep going onto the train station, honestly, because I'd be like, no.
Well, don't tell your daughter that.
You know what I mean? I know. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'd take her with me still.
On the train to Busan.
The mission, right? Yeah, on the train. Yeah, on the train.
They just seemed really, really unconcerned with how. I mean, it truly was a 4, if not 5 alarm fire, and they're just like, on to the train station.
Could it be?
They were quick to shake it off.
Joe, that is part of the social critique of this film that maybe we'll get to now or later.
Ooh.
I don't know, but
we can get to it now if you want to. I mean, if you. Are we gonna interrupt it?
No. Let's keep going because we'll have more to chew on as we go. But that's
true.
A little preview.
We will talk about okay.
I'm gonna pitch that maybe we can hand wave it as metaphor, maybe.
Okay, so they get to the station. And they get on the train, and that's when we start meeting the rest of our characters, the cast of our characters, right? And we get to see the older sisters sitting together in the train, right? There's those two. And then what do we see?
We have the stewards first,
oh yeah, that's right.
Right, like there's one that's is on the phone, and she, the older guy fixes her ascot. Then we do have the baseball team. We don't get their names yet, but there's a girl who calls herself the cheerleader, Jin Hee, and this is the Selena Gomez woman, Sohee. Yeah, okay. she's like a groupie, maybe an actual cheerleader. I don't really know what her job is, but she's hanging out with the baseball team, and she is sweet on a kid named Yong-guk, who is played by Choi Woo-sik from Parasite and Okja, and he's like too cool for school and kind of like quiet, and his teammates are like, oh my god, you love her, and he's like, no I don't, you guys. Shut up. Right, so then we have the elderly women. So then Suk-woo and Suan get on the train. We have not yet met some of the other folks.
Right. Yeah. That's right. We see the conductor get in, right? And he kind of starts up this whole thing, his council, and gets the train going. And then a woman runs into
past the porter.
That's
right past the guy.
I don't know. You have to be that guy really didn't give a shit about his job. Yeah.
I also don't have situational awareness, to be fair. So I could see I'm watching the other way, and then someone barrels past me. I'm like, well, that's weird. I don't know.
But what about the other guy watching him? Because he waves to another guy saying, train's all good. And that guy's literally staring at him going, okay, I got you. You know what I mean? Wait a minute.
They don't pay these people enough to care. At least that's what it would be in America. I don't know.
But, in the vein of we need something to happen, something to go wrong for this horror movie to progress, a woman who pretty obvious to the audience has been bitten and infected, has managed to.
Yes.
Yeah, she manages to get onto the train, and we see that she has a bite mark on her leg, and she hides in a bathroom and is trying to tie it off.
Yes.
So.
Right. And we get a glimpse of a crowd forming at the top of the stairs at the station.
Right.
Of someone acting crazy, and everyone's videotaping it, that sort of thing.
In fact, I think there's more than one person, right? And there's kind of
it's a whole
and there's kind of a crowd. So it's but the train is taking off as this is happening. So people on the train don't really see it, except the daughter sees it.
Oh yeah. Suan definitely sees a zombie guy tackle a guy right outside the window. But her father is asleep and inattentive and doesn't know what's going on with his daughter. So, nobody knows.
Right.
That's no good.
Oh my gosh.
And Suan was just like, well, fuck me, right? And we continue on with our story.
So now is when we meet your COO, Ryan, who is a guy named Yong-suk. Yong-suk, sorry. Yeah, no G at the end. Yong-suk. So he is alerting one of the stewards, like, hey, there's this weird guy in the bathroom. Not to be confused with the weird woman in the bathroom, because you guys, I messed this up on this rewatch and had to adjust my notes. But there are several bathrooms because this is a really big, cool train that we don't have.
Because initially when I was watching it, I thought they were already going to discover the woman in the bathroom.
Me too.
With the way he's approaching the porter and saying, hey, there's something weird going on in this bathroom. We got to get this guy out of
there. Exactly. But nope, this is just a homeless guy.
Yep.
Although he's I mean, so this guy, this well-dressed businessman who we just mentioned, goes and gets the steward, is like, hey, there's this really weird dude in the bathroom. Can you check on him? So the steward opens the door, and this homeless guy is all twitchy. And I don't think he ever gets a name. I think he's just homeless man. But he's repeating like, they're all dead and laughing, which is not great.
Right.
And so then the COO, importantly, like ruffles Suan's hair and is like, if you don't study, you're going to end up like that guy. And then Suan is basically like, well, my mom says that people who say stuff like that are really shitty people. Like,
yeah, which is hilarious because that's right. Because the dad is sleeping. So Suan just stands up to go investigate what's going on at the bathroom door, which is also kind of funny because I think at like 10 or 11 years old, I'd probably not go check it out.
Well,
but
you're a precocious 10-year-old. There are a lot of like stupid 10-year-olds.
Yeah. So then, right. So we have that. We have the interaction with the COO guy, and we kind of get the vibe that he's an asshole.
Yes.
The steward tells the homeless man that he will need to get off at the next stop if he doesn't have a ticket.
Right. Oh, and the homeless man, by the way, it does make a cameo in Seoul Station, the animated movie. It's very quick. Okay. It's very quick. I thought he would make more of an appearance because they do involve a lot of the homeless people in the prequel, but
that is cool though, because I mean, that is like what we're all wondering, right? Right then, like what's his story and are we going to find out what it is? Because all we know from him is somehow he managed to get on the train.
Yep.
Because of inattentive people on the platform, apparently. Keep in mind that means we know at least one other person has managed to slip by, so that not great security.
No, and not the most subtle of passengers either.
No, I mean, this man is shaking like a leaf, mumbling to himself, clearly out of his mind from what he has seen. And we're just kind of going, all right, well, what's next here?
Meanwhile,
and I will say,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep going back to this movie. I will stop right after this. I promise.
No.
The prequel. The virus starts in the homeless people in the prequel.
Oh, no.
And then it spreads so quickly because no one is giving the homeless people like the attention that they need. And no one's taking care of them. And so there's like a lot of attempts to stop it right away. And
that's
then
ridiculous.
Just,
that would never happen in a pandemic.
I know, but it's interesting to see it happen from like a Korean perspective because I've never seen that before.
And like, 4 years early, everything's fine. What?
But was it manufactured by the government to sell vaccines?
It's hinted at, Joe. It's hinted at.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
Okay, sorry. So continue on.
Okay, so next we go to a different compartment, and the woman who snuck aboard the train is like stumbling down the aisle. She does not look great, but her movement is wonderful. It's beautiful, and she's caught in between the compartments, like almost like a fly in between glass, right? Like she's stuck between the doors.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we go to yet another bathroom, and there's this enormous dude, Song Hwa, who is played by Ma Dong-suk from The Eternals, as we mentioned. And he is just a big, big dude. But right away, you can tell he's a gentle giant. So Suan is still looking for a bathroom, and that's why she has come upon this yet third bathroom. And this guy is waiting outside. We hear, he's like, I'm sorry, this is going to take a while. And we figure out it's because his pregnant wife is going to the bathroom. But he sends Suan ahead to the open bathroom. And in the meanwhile, while this is going on, this female attendant, the one with the ascot who's always on her phone, comes across the sick zombie woman. And she's like, Miss, are you okay? Which, no. But what's great, but it's so good because, so we have like just in this part, like a little tiny bit where Suk-woo, the dad, wakes up, his phone is ringing, Suan isn't there, and he gets like the news that bad stuff is going on. He hears the steward saying like, is it airborne? And the stewardess being like, ah! And so he has to call, his subordinate back. The old women are watching the news, but it's so great because I was already, sort of eye rolling a little bit when it's like, are you okay? Because this is how every zombie movie starts. And like, okay, this woman's going to wither away and like finally things are good. But no, right away, like you see in another compartment, the woman stops seizing, immediately reanimates and attacks the stewardess or the attendant. So like, Suwon watches someone else run by. She locks the door. And it's so great because we're back to the baseball kit boys and they're fucking around as, high school athletes are wont to do. And you see the infected woman and the stewardess like staggering down together. And it almost looks like the stewardess or attendant. I keep saying stewardess. I don't know what you call them on a train.
I don't know either, actually.
Porter, steward.
Yeah, they're all going to be dead
attendant.
soon anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
but it almost looks like she's giving the infected woman a piggyback, but like the infected woman has been like eating the stewardess, like, and it's like immediate. She changes. Yeah. It is chaos. The Foley is amazing. It's like jaw dropping. Between the sound effects and between like the physical performances, I'm just like salivating already all over this. And like we are off to the races. Everyone is fucked.
And it's amazing. I will say too, also that Patient Zero, the girl who sneaks on the train, she's like Drew Barrymore for us. What? She's in a ton of Korean movies before this. She's very well known. Ooh. She actually voices the protagonist in Seoul Station. So to see her sort of like show up for a split second, like it really got a rise out of Korean audiences because they were like, oh my god. Right, exactly. Ooh, so that's why like for us, we're kind of like, okay, well, obviously she's gonna turn everyone, but like maybe for a Korean audience, they're like, oh my god, and then oh my god,
right? Like she's bandaging the wound. She has a little time. She's gonna teach him the ropes. Psych.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, that's some good context.
Yes, that is. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So anyway, we're back to yet another bathroom. I'm not sure which one at this point, but so Suk-woo, the shitty dad, is looking for Suwon. It's still calm while they are like, they see some guy running past, but like in this other compartment, people are just kind of standing around, and they, of course, he just misses Suwon, who can hear the running outside. She's like in a stall and peeks out, but so finally there's another infected person, and Suk-woo finally gets what's going on. So he's like, and Suwon also gets, maybe I should get my dad's attention. And they find each other and they just start running. But then there's this really cool shot that probably one of you will want to talk about, maybe, but of the steward zombie, and it's sort of like GoPro style.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yep.
That's the I can't remember what that rig is called. Oh no. Whoa. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Because they use this type of rig on a lot of movies. The guy who did The Whale, what's his name? The director?
Wait, The Whale. Oh.
Yeah.
Who did that?
America.
That's not Darren Aronofsky, is it? No.
Yes, it is. It's Aronofsky. Yes. So he did I know. He did the drug movie way back in like 2001.
Oh, you mean the one that rips off Perfect Blue, Requiem for a Dream?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Requiem
one.
for a Dream. So in Requiem for a Dream, he has this shot like a million times. Not a million times, but quite a bit. And ever since that movie came out with that rig, tons and tons and tons of people have tried to emulate that style or reuse that shot for something. And so it's very popular with modern cinema.
I can see
for
why
the past, like, 20 years.
It rules.
Yeah. I can't remember what the name of the rig is called. It's killing me.
Well,
now.
that's again editing magic. I can't think of dub things. You can't think of that, but you can put it in later and sound really smart.
There it is. That's what I thought of. You guys just react and then I'll add the name in later.
Wow, Ryan, that was what a good insight.
Thanks, guys.
So then back to the bathroom with Songhwa, the gentle giant waiting for his pregnant wifey. So she gets out and they also see the zombies. And so immediately, and I think this is important to point to, like immediately Songhwa doesn't even know what is going on, but he grapples one of the zombies, allowing Suk-woo and Suwon to sneak past. And he tells his wife, Seong Kang, to run as he holds one off. And I think that this is actually something we can point to now because we can trace it through the rest of the film. But there's this really wonderful video essay on YouTube from an account called Accented Cinema, called How to Kill a Character. And it talks about the spoilers, character deaths in this film and why they feel like they matter. That people that the people who die, other than like the nameless, but like our actual named characters aren't just cannon fodder, but like human beings we care about. And he makes the point that even this early on, if we can ostensibly call Suk-woo our protagonist, you see the COO, whose name I'm going to get right this time, Yeon Suk. So
I mean, you're doing so much better at this than I am. I would have butchered these names so bad.
we're gonna do it. I mean,
You're doing a
this
fantastic job.
is from like very rudimentary Duolingo Korean. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right, but I'm trying.
Still.
So okay,
Yeah.
So Yoon Suk, who is the bastard COO guy that we'll spend some more time with, Yoon Suk, is like his shoulder devil and who he could become in terms of like if Suk Woo is sort of apathetic and like you have to look out for yourself, Young Suk is the inevitable conclusion of that, where you're basically, and we'll see it happen, but like, you know, stomping all over everybody to help yourself, versus Sung Hwa being his shoulder angel of like, this is the father who Soo-an would have wanted, and like who ideally he would be as like heroic and selfless, and that there's going to be like a push-pull as Suk-woo kind of navigates that line and ultimately makes his own choices, but that they're sort of prototypes or archetypes of the battle for his soul in a way.
Yeah, I agree. It really hooks you into the movie for sure. You know what I mean? Because you are like, you pick up on it. Like, it's not like it's like super subtle or super hidden. Like, you pick up on the fact like, yeah, okay, this is like a variation of him. And you are curious what the movie kind of has to say about that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's allegorical, but I feel like you care versus like, you know, when I was coming pretty hard for Deborah Logan about like, I get it, but I don't really care about the characters. I care about these folks. And I think that's part of the difference. I don't know. Even though we have less time with these folks, but sorry, Joe, it looks like you were going to say something.
No, I was just going to say that's actually, I think one of the things that made this a refreshing zombie movie is I think in a lot of the zombie movies that I've seen, I'm not sure that I care too much if the people survive the zombie apocalypse, but like very early on in this movie, you're connecting with I think the protagonist and a lot of the main characters a lot quicker than you do in other movies. Like, I don't know. I find myself ambivalent in a lot of these like zombie survival movies on like who's the next person that's going to get bit in turn. Right.
Agree.
But with these people, I think you're rooting for a lot of them. I mean, I think one of the few that you're not rooting for is probably the evil businessman, but everyone else, you kind of want to see survive.
And do you know what I think part of that is for me? And this is not from the video essay, but just something that I messaged you guys about before we went on mic, and I've been excited to talk about. But for me, it's that even this early on, we can see, for me, I think part of the reason I care is because of the more casual, like collectivist attitude of the folks on the train. Even though we do get into class critique, even though like they're rich guys who are ostensibly assholes and like literally barring the way for the poor, like, a la Snowpiercer or whatever. To me, this is different. Like, so even though you've got bastard COO, like he's still doing his thing of like, I'm an elder telling this young girl to stay in school at this point. And part of the reason I wanted to talk about it now is that like, Soo-an, without even thinking about it, gives up her seat to one of the older women. And like Suk-woo, her dad, is like, only watch out for yourself, but she's not buying it. We've already seen Sung-hwa and his wife not buy it. She, like the pregnant wife, offers Soo-an candy. Like there's just more of a general, even before things go to shit, just like looking out for one another that to me makes me want to root for the group as a whole more than just individual folks, where like I feel like more Western narratives that are like this, you may have one or two that you're rooting for, but you don't really care about anyone else. And that's because, at least at the outset, oftentimes they don't really care about each other until they're much further down the line. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And the great thing about it, go ahead, Joe.
No. You go first, right?
Well, I was going to say the smart thing about what this movie does too is it has all of these different characters and their variations bounce their beliefs or their ideas off this little girl at one point or another in the movie. And I love that. I think that's so smart and so like just like a little like brilliant screenwriting technique that just, helps you enrich the movie in a natural way where you don't really pay attention to it unless you're like analyzing the film like we are. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I will say the one downside, I think, to the way they portrayed these characters and kind of the easy way it was for the audience to root for multiple people is I felt and I don't think this is a spoiler, audience, that people are going to die in this movie. I felt it was very easy to know who was going to make it and who wasn't. Like, there wasn't much doubt in my mind. Probably 20 minutes into this movie, I was like, okay, these people are going to be fine, and these people are definitely going to die. So,
well, and
I don't know.
Part of that, though, I think, right, and also I'm realizing that I skipped like a whole page in my notes, so we may need to put some of this in a different order. I'm sorry, but okay. So I think part of that, Joe, to your point, is we have an idea of who may live because the group that makes it is the most vulnerable in a societal population, right? In terms of who goes the furthest. You have a pregnant woman, you have a young girl, you have a mentally ill poor person. For a long time, you have like an elderly woman. I think there's definitely going to be stuff to unpack about how a society treats the most vulnerable among its citizens. And I think that's hugely explored in this film.
But from a linear horror movie perspective, I will just say, as the story goes, I think there was only one that I wasn't sure about. Probably within the first 30 minutes, I would say there was one that I thought maybe would make it that did not.
Will you tell us when they die? Who you thought when we get to it? Will you tell us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, okay.
I will say,
Ryan.
The question of whether the pregnant woman or the little girl would get, killed was lingering in my head. And my wife actually sat through the English dub version.
I'm so proud.
I know. In the start of the movie, I brought up, it's like, hey, so who do you think's going to die? The little girl or the pregnant woman? And she sat through the whole movie to see what happened.
Oh, no. I have to call her.
Yeah, you have to text her.
I mean, I did think that, I didn't think it was going to happen, but, you always have to wonder with the pregnant woman if they're going to do anything with, if she's infected,
right.
Like what happens with
Zombie
the baby,
right? Exactly.
Like,
yes.
whether you're going to have like an alien Ripper moment or anything like that. I felt just because of the way her husband was protecting her. I mean, you knew that sacrifice was going to happen, right?
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
Spoiler.
What?
Whatever. You already. I avoided it. You already said that only the. Yeah, you already said only the pregnant mother and the little girl made it. So I was like, all right, I guess nothing matters.
Well, I sort of said that, anyways. Yeah. If you're listening to this, I suggest you shut it off and not because.
Yeah. Or Ryan can always just delete this conversation right now. Ryan, you can cut this out. But all I'm saying is I was being careful, and then I felt like we were no longer being careful. So I will say,
we don't have to be careful.
I will say the husband of the, remind me of his name.
Songhua or Songhua.
I will say that he was the most obvious. I'm going to go down in a heroic moment. Yeah. Especially when you see him in the beginning and he's just like throwing punches at zombies that if they bite you will like infect you. And I was like, this like 200 something pound like fucking wall of muscle is definitely going to go down just like beating the shit out of zombies to save like his pregnant wife.
Yes.
No doubt in my mind.
Totally.
Like, no doubt.
So if we...
And even Nina was watching it with me. Sorry, Nina was watching it with me. She saw the first time he punched someone. She's like, oh, he's going to die, isn't he? I was like, probably.
So if we go back up to where I completely derailed the synopsis.
Go for it.
Okay, right. So we did see, so we had it right up into like the shoulder angel devil conversation. And so then I skipped some pretty important stuff. Namely, so Suk-woo is told to shut the door, and by doing so in this safer compartment is going to trap Songhua, this like tank guy, and his pregnant wife on the other side. But Suan is like, no, I know him. So Suk-woo reluctantly opens the door and everyone barely makes it through. So Songhua has some beef about that with Suk-woo, understandably. But we also find out very quickly that Suk-woo is a crafty one. He hypothesizes that the zombies are not smart enough to open the door and that they are only following folks because they can see them. So he has them newspaper the window and the zombies stop attacking because they can't see. So again, that's just establishing really quickly, I feel like, his character, how he's going to contribute, and has nice and high stakes. And then you've got your typical zombie dialogue of like, what are they? What's happening? Which you know, you got to do it.
Unavoidable.
Yeah. So they've been told to not. So there's an announcement on the speaker, and they have been instructed to not stop in Cheonan, which I guess is another city in between. So that's sus. And so Suk-woo's mom, who was like, "Get back with your wife," calls to make sure they're okay. Mom is clearly not doing great on the phone, says to take care of Suwon, and then she's like, "She's a bitch," as she's changing, and that's not great, and we lose her. Yikes. So then it's actually really gnarly because the train slows in this station where they're not going to stop, and there are all these people who are not infected but are clearly panicking, like pounding on the windows and stuff, trying to get in, but they all are dying, and like Suk-woo can't really do anything except cover Suwon's eyes, but like the damage is done. She's going to need a lot of therapy. But then, okay, so outside, total shit show. And then we get this really, really, really great montage. See all this stuff that I skipped. We get this really great montage of the news, like reports over, zombies walking, and people are watching. There's like this great sequence where these zombies are holding onto helicopters and like fall onto these like guys shooting a YouTube video. But so the news is like, well, the government says everything is going fine. Stay calm and trust the government. You're safe. I wrote, yeah, right, bitch. And the thing is, so for some historical context that Ryan and I, and maybe Joe, but that we came across independently when reading prior to this recording is that, so this movie comes out in 2016, which I would guess means that a specific event in 2014 that happened was at the forefront of people's minds. And Ryan, do you want to talk a little bit about what I'm referring to?
It is a ferry accident where I think they had almost like 400 people on board, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Most of them perished in the ferry. And apparently, from what I could understand, was that the ferry just took an alternate route, like just willy-nilly. Like there was no plan to do it, and they, for whatever reason, took an alternate route and then got caught up on something, and they sunk. And the issue with a lot of this was that there were a lot of children on board who perished. And so the whole country watched this whole thing happen. And the reason a lot of these folks perished on this ferry was because the boat literally told them to stay put while they tried to fix this thing. And all these folks just stayed in the main cabin and basically died.
Well, okay.
On this ferry.
And so I didn't know that it was mostly kids. Did you hear another big reason that all these people died was because the like folks in charge, I don't want to say specifically the captain or porters or whatever, because I don't want to say the wrong people, but that there were crewmen who specifically like left the passengers behind to die and that they were overloaded, and that initially the government was reporting everybody made it. There were no casualties.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That they were like, yeah, everybody was fine. And so, it was one of those like, don't trust the man moments. And that had to have been, I gotta think, part of the mindset in doing that montage.
It was. The director actually points to the specific moment too, saying that it affected the way he made this movie because he had this on his mind.
Oh yeah. So now we're up to the part where I messed it up before, where Suwon gives up the seat to the old woman and Suk-woo's like, watch out for yourself. So skipped a whole lot of stuff. Sorry. At this point, Suwon says that mom's phone is off. That's not great. And okay, so now they get another announcement from the conductor that they will be stopping in the Daejeon station so that the military can come help them. Which, okay, coming off this discussion that we just had, this is incredibly sus, right? And Suk-woo is not having it. So he goes to investigate. Meanwhile, Sung-hwa, the nice big tank man, and his pregnant wife are talking to Suwon. And, you know, like her dad's a fund manager. He leeches off of others. He's like the worst guy ever. And
that's what they're saying.
And the wife is like, don't say that in front of her. And then like kind of tragically, Suan is like, yeah, no, that's pretty much what everybody says. Like
everyone thinks that it's okay.
Right. Right. And so then the wife is like, haha, that's awkward. Do you want some candy? And now we're up to the place I messed it up. But so then she also, in an apocryphal moment, is like, our unborn baby is called Sleepy because Sanghua, my husband, has not gotten around to naming her yet. That's crazy. Moving on. So
and you're like, he better name that baby before the end of this movie.
Yeah. Her name is Hope. No, just kidding. No, it's not Hope. Okay.
And while this conversation is going on, right? The dad is on the phone trying to get information
with his lemmings group.
As far as like
he calls the captain.
With his lemmings group, and he finds out that if he's going to get off at the station, he's got to avoid the main quarantine thing and kind of go off to an east exit. Right?
Yeah, he's bribing a police officer, and he's like, Hope, you know, and the police officer is like, okay, fine. Like, don't go to the main square, go to the east one. I'll tell my men to come get you. He's like, okay, that's great. And actually, no, he's not in a bathroom. He is in an empty compartment because we also see at the end of this telephone conversation that the homeless guy is also in the compartment unnoticed because no one pays attention to the homeless. And he has overheard this phone conversation and is like, interesting. So, so then we get to Daejeon. And the music is super ominous and like understandably so because this station is completely empty. It is spooky, right? So the train stops.
Very spooky.
The train stops. Everybody gets off. The COO, who ruffled Suwon's hair before, the shoulder devil that we've talked about, approaches the conductor and so the conductor had no idea, I guess, that any of this was going on, which is interesting that he doesn't know that people are dying on the train. Whatever.
No one like phoned the.
No, they didn't. He's doing his own thing, I guess. But so he tells the conductor. So we find out then that he's the COO of the train, like company line, whatever. But he's like, they need to uncouple the engineering car and go to Busan. He's like not concerned with how many other people are going to be able to fit, right? But he's like, this is not good. All the routes to Daejeon have been cut off, which is the city they're in now. He's like, buses are rerouted. The city's in quarantine. We are fucked if we stay here, right? So he's like, but Busan, I'm pretty sure is open. So let's go. But the conductor's like, well, we need to take everybody else. So. So meanwhile, everyone is, and if anybody else wants to jump in, I know I'm monopolizing this synopsis. So
you're doing a fantastic job. I'm going to let you roll. Go for it.
Okay. So they're in the station and everyone's walking through and the rest of the station, not just the train platform, is empty. So
at this point, I'm trying to remember, at this point, doesn't someone say, where's the military? Because weren't they supposed to meet them like when the train arrived?
Well, yes. I could be wrong. And then also on the escalator. I don't have exactly when it is, but yes, that is definitely.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah.
There is something though, right? Like a little tip off that.
Yes, there is.
Oh, we should already be seeing military.
Yeah. Before we find out why we haven't. Yes. It's very conspicuous they're not there.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. Okay. So, okay. Right. So they're walking through and yes, I think it actually might be there. Like they're at this barricade and like somebody, I think, says where's the military? And so Seok-woo takes this opportunity to like go past the barrier with his daughter away into like the restricted section. And she's like, no, we have to tell everybody else because, you know, she's like an altruist and wants to help everybody. Meanwhile, homeless guy's watching and he's like, I'm going to go that way too. And he ends up spilling the beans about why in front of the daughter. And so the daughter's like, we have to tell everybody to come. And the dad is like, no, Seok-woo is like, no. And she's like, you only care about yourself. And that's why mommy left. So Super ouch. Not great. But gonna make him think about that for a little bit. Meanwhile, it's this great shot. Blah, like I throw up. So everyone else is leaving and they're going down the escalator that's gonna take them, I guess, like to like the front of the station or something. But as they're going down, you can tell something's not great. There's a bloody police riot shield like on the stairs. So like the homeless guy sees this like lone military officer, the first person anybody has seen, and he like goes to flag him down for help. You can tell this is not going to be great. But so meanwhile, as he goes to approach this guy, everybody else is going down the escalator and they see like at the bottom all of the military, and there's like a shit ton of them are zombies. And then they turn around and they like run up the escalator backwards and they just like charge, and it is carnage. It is gnarly and it's awesome.
Let me ask you guys something though.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously we're trying to follow these people are trying to follow the government guidelines, right?
Yeah.
And and do what they're told. They're going to meet the military at the station.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them have to be thinking, all right, this is probably a quarantine, and we're just like, we're going, and it kind of is what it is. Now that we've had, because we've kind of had our own experience with quarantine, with COVID-19 and everything else. Like, I'm just curious, you as an individual, would you all, if you were told, like, let's just say the train had an announcement and they're like, hey, something's up at this station. We're going to meet the military, knowing full well that none of us are infected. We're going to go with the military to this quarantine and, we're going to let this ride out and figure out what the fuck is going on, right? Would you listen, or would you go, screw it, I'm going to go off on my own, and that's probably a death sentence? Because honestly, I think I'd probably listen, because for me, they're like kind of going on the record like, hey, we have this safe zone. We're the military. I mean, don't get me wrong. It obviously doesn't work out in the movie this way because, the quarantine was breached. But for me, I like the fact that the dad is like, I'm going to grab this little girl and we're going to go like off on this like side mission. I'm like, why the fuck are you even doing, like, sorry, I'm swearing a lot, but like, I really genuinely, I was genuinely like, I don't know. I'm not a big conspiracy guy. I'm not a huge, like, always trust your government guy either. But I'm like, for the most part, I don't know. I feel like in that situation, I'd be like, dudes with guns saying that they're going to like make sure that we're not infected and then keep us safe. I'm probably following them. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
I probably would have too. I think the thing that obviously makes it different is that he called ahead, and the person on the other line was like, avoid the main quarantine, go to the east thing and get out that way. But I think you're right. I probably would have done the same.
But like, again, like even that, I'm just like
going into the main quarantine.
I'm just trying to like logic it out that like, the fuck's it matter?
The phrase,
like, you know what I mean?
To your point, the phrase zero-sum game comes to mind. Like Comrade Laura, I definitely like super left, don't really trust the government, do not trust the military, la, 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 la. But I have no personal survival skills. What am I going to do? I have no weapons. Even if I like steal a baseball bat from one of the kids, what am I going to do with that? I'm dead in 2 seconds anyway. So it's just, frying pan or the fire.
My thing is, it's not like this guy said something like, hey, just so you know, if you go to the main quarantine, it's just a firing squad, like
That's
they're
true.
not taking any risks.
He doesn't know because later he's like, where are my men?
Right. But presumably he's in the city though, right? So like, I'm just saying he's telling them to divert, but it's not like he's telling them to divert because there's some kind of death squad waiting for the main group or something like that.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
I guess my thing is, and truly, this isn't a critique on the movie. I genuinely wanted to know, like, what you would do as a person in that situation, because I would absolutely be one of the lemmings going, like, all right, everyone's single file, no one's bit, right?
But riddle me this, Joe, because this is you assuming that we as middle class folks are in those exact shoes. Picture yourself rather as our, oh my God, I just forgot his name, Suk Woo. picture yourself as Suk-woo or the COO, where you are part of the 1%. The rules don't apply to you, and you've been given a special VIP pass. You know, if you've gone through your whole life expecting that, like, because you can flash money or whatever, and that like things are you'll be taken care of, maybe that changes the calculus. But
maybe he thinks he's getting into like the champagne room.
Exactly, room 33 or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's a good point.
So that's my only like, I raise you this, but if I'm just me and like my bro cast, then yes. Like,
right. Yeah. Like,
what else am I going to do? You know?
Right. I'm like, so you guys are going to hold me for a month, but free groceries.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't have to pay rent. Thank you. Yes.
All right. Yeah. No, I just like,
no, that's a great question. I like it.
Especially because we've all been through, you know, COVID at this point. Right. So we've all kind of done like quarantine in a sense. I was just curious.
And
like,
I appreciate too that we're having this because, you know, I feel like it was in vogue like 15 years ago to be like, well, come the zombie apocalypse, what are you gonna do? And I think many of us have just made our peace with the fact that like we're not making it to get to decide like I'm gonna go get a tank and do whatever. I'm dead in the first 5 minutes. It doesn't matter.
Exactly right.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those situations where it's like you hear the alarm go off for the nuclear warhead. You're driving towards the blast, not away.
Yep.
Right?
Oh,
like,
1,000%.
Who's trying to live after that?
No.
That's like
nobody.
I've seen Grave of the Fireflies. I know how this goes.
Better to go out with the Flash.
Yes. Oh boy, we like to have a good time. Anyway.
Welcome to your mid 30s, everyone.
We're millennials are fine. You guys don't worry about us.
We're funny, not fun, guys. There's a difference.
Yes.
It's so true. It's so true.
Okay. So,
just roll over and die.
So anyway,
all right. So sorry.
Yeah, no, okay.
We're back to the homeless man approaching the only trooper that we've seen.
Right, none of us are going to make it. That's fine. Maybe some of these people will. So
we're not even lying.
Right, I know. So okay. So, right. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So we see the vicious attack, right? We see these soldiers that have, turned and they're charging everyone. And then we flip back to the homeless guy, right? And meanwhile, that's approaching the lone soldier.
Yep. And Suk-woo in the background is picking up his phone and he finds out it is bad. Like his contact is like, where are my guys? Like, what? Can you see what's going on? He's like, oh, this is not good. So as that happens simultaneously, like, you can see the light bulb go, and then the spooky military guy that's by himself, he's actually not a zombie. He's like, help me. But then all these zombies come in after him. And then he's like, I mean, it's tantamount to the same thing. Right. But but not exactly what you think they're going to do. So anyways, they're like, run, and so, so they go and everything's just chaos and carnage and everybody's dying. And one of them, so like everybody gets separated and one of them is about to get Suwon, but Sang-hwa, our gentle giant brick man, comes and elbows it out of the way to save her life.
And I do want to say, because we didn't mention this, this is another time where the father has abandoned his daughter again, which I think is like absolutely like Nina's like, why does he keep putting her down? She's like, just hold her hand. Like, why does he keep like leaving? She's like, why does he keep leaving her like 20 feet away from him at like all times? Which is like, I mean, obviously there's a reason for that. He's a shit father, right?
Well,
like he doesn't have a lot of parental instinct to him.
Did you know, Joe, as well, that this film was partially funded by Big Leash Kid? You gotta leash kid. What? Like you got like the child leashes. You gotta like keep them like the backpacks. This is what
I don't know if you're kidding with me or not.
Yes, I'm kidding.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure if there was a leash kid lobby or not.
There probably is.
I was like, you guys did way more research in this than I did. Like, I didn't know anything about the ferry. I was like, oh, is there a leash kid scandal too?
We should do an episode where we just like completely bullshit the backstory of some movie.
Wait,
and then just see if
do
everyone buys
that?
it.
You guys have to realize I don't do any research outside of just watching the movie. So whatever you guys say, I just go, sounds right.
So Sorry, you need a minute.
So unless it's come across my radar, like just like geopolitically, and I haven't watched the news in probably 5 years, I will have no idea.
Okay, wait. I can't see. I'm crying. Okay. No, there is not a leash kid lobby involved in the making of this film, of which I am aware. But anyways.
What a great conspiracy.
Right. But anyways, to your point, they get separated. So she has to be saved by our big brick man hero. And so then, how the turns table, because we, although I guess this doesn't happen right yet. No. Okay. So she's saved. And then we go back to the baseball team, Sunghwa and his wife. So they all get to safety. They barricade the doors. And actually, so they let the homeless guy through, who has somehow made it and is alive. And hey, Seok-woo's going to be trapped on the other side. But instead of being the worst, Sunghwa opens the door for him and it's like, hey, asshole, come through, which is a quote. I swear a lot, but he actually does call him an asshole.
Yeah, he does say that. Yeah. He does.
So he's like, okay, cool, great. So they get together, they work together, they shut the doors. Meanwhile, we see some other people try to get back on the train, but they let the zombies out of the wrong compartment or something. So everybody's just dying. Yeah. And so the conductor gets back on the train and COO, bad guy, is like, why aren't we leaving yet? And like one of the attendants pushes him and he's like, there's still more people. So again, at least some people are still thinking about like, I feel like the default, at least in this, is like hopefully collectivist. And then we can like shame the people that are being individualistic versus kind of like the opposite. I think sometimes we get. But anyways, so the zombies are bursting through the window above, and like, so the old women that we've seen a couple times are knocked down, but both are individually rescued, although by different groups, so they don't know it. And even the homeless guy is saved. Some baseball guys haven't made it back to the train, which Jin-hee is complaining about, but they have to leave. So we go back to, as this fight is happening, we go back to the baseball guys, Seok-woo and Sunghwa, who are all running for the train. It's not good. Most of the baseball kids die. It's very sad. But the quiet one, Yongguk, Sunghwa, Seok-woo are able to make it onto the moving train. And there's also this really great sequence where Sunghwa is a total badass. He has riot gear. He's like punching all the zombies. To Joe's point, it's just a matter of time because he's too good. He's too good at what he does.
He's too physical with them too, right? He's like not keeping them at a distance. He's always just like absolutely slugging them.
He's a melee class, not a ranged or a wizard.
Yeah. And he doesn't have like the bat like the baseball player either. Like he's really not using, he is the weapon. Like he's like that's very much his approach to everything is my fist, your face.
Barbarian class.
And from the behind the scenes, it looks like that actor does a lot of the stunts in this station.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like he actually like crashes, like tripping over the little like padding on the ground for that scene and like scrapes his hand, but like also back on the escalators, like he literally like lifts his wife and like puts her over. You know what I mean? Like he's doing a lot of like physical.
And he's been a personal trainer to at least one other major actor, so one assumes that he's probably made part of his living doing that. But yeah, that's cool. I can't even lift myself, so good for him. But okay, so anyways, the conductor is like, where can we go? And central control is like, I don't know. But they're told like, I don't know, I guess you can try to go to Busan. Like, sure. So they're like, I guess that's as good of a thing to try as any. So Mrs. Sunghwa, whose name I've also lost, which is terrible. But so she goes to get out her phone. The homeless guy stops her. They're not protected by the glass anymore. So there's just like some zombie people chilling like right next to them. But they're able to this like group vulnerable, I guess I would call them team like we're in trouble. Is the pregnant woman, the homeless man, Suan, and one of the old women. So they're able to gather into one of the many, many bathroom stalls together and like lock it, but they've been spotted and it's bad. So meanwhile, the conductor announces they're not going to stop again. They're heading straight to Busan. COO is like, is Busan okay? And they're all like, I don't know. But the COO is like, full speed ahead. So we're going.
Right.
The cheerleader, Jin Hee, gets a call from the baseball kid who's still alive. And they're both crying because they're like, oh my God, I thought you died. No, I thought you died. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. And sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. Keep going. You're good.
Okay. Yeah. And so we've got like our three bros right now. So it's the baseball kid, it's Suk-woo and it's Sung-hwa, and they're all in a compartment together. And now we get to play Snowpiercer. This is 100% Diet Coke Snowpiercer because the team vulnerable that they care about is in washroom car 13. The safe people are in car 15. Our heroes are in car 9. I write, suit up, fuckers. So now this is our montage where they're like putting on like tape and like, getting the bat and like as ready as they can be. Right. So they're going to use, because again, Suk-woo is very resourceful. They're going to use the darkness of the tunnels to go, because presumably then the infected folks can't see them. And keep in mind, again, we've mentioned this once or twice, these zombies are not Night of the Living Dead zombies. They are fast. They turn fast. Right. They are fast. They are vicious. They can jump. Like they're more like 28 days later type. But like even faster.
I will say, one difference between them and some of the other zombie movies we've seen is sometimes it doesn't matter if you injure a zombie in other movies. Like they could be, you break their arm, you mess up their knee or something, and I feel like they still move at the same speed. Yes. If you cause physical damage to these zombies, it does slow them down.
There you go.
I don't know. Yeah. That was just something I noted. Like because there's a couple times where like one's like injured in the leg and it can't run on that leg anymore. If you break the leg, like, if you like fuck up its kneecap, it's not going as fast. Whereas like, I feel like in other zombie movies, sometimes physical damage, it didn't matter. God. It could like keep moving even though the ligaments are torn or something.
That's so true. And I didn't notice that in this one, but you've given this nihilistic millennial hope. Thank you. We've maybe got a chance now.
Yeah. There's a chance.
But you're right. For the most part, they're way more feral than you normally see in a zombie movie. I mean, they're just turned. They're turned, but they seem to keep all like their athletic prowess.
And in fact, are like more so. I'm not an acrobat, but it seems like if I'm in this movie, I'm like busting through windows and stuff.
Right. Yeah. It's just like base feral instinct at that point.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay. So gauntlet time. And actually, this is very sweet. I thought so they get to the car that has the kids' baseball team in it, and like they're not going to make him, like bash in his teammates' heads. That's like a lot. So they sort of push him to the back, and the other two guys like step it up so that he doesn't have to deal with it. And again, I think this is just like a nice little collectivist, like, we take care of each other. And I guess at this point in like a Western zombie film, they've been together long enough that we would maybe see this anyway. But I feel like this sort of like casual taking care of each other has been established long before this in this particular movie.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, they go and they get a little reprieve because the zombies can't see them. And then so like basically they use teamwork to get through. Is there anything about this particular compartment that you guys want to say?
Well, it threw me off a little bit because it did so this is where they find out, right? That the zombies, they can't see in the dark.
That's correct.
Right? Yeah. So they get through like the last car, they like bulldoze. The only reason why this played such a big role in my memory is because literally before they go in the first car, my wife goes, wait, they're just going to punch their way through the zombies? These guys are idiots.
Well, that is Sung-hwa's idea. But
astute interpretation there. That's very true.
No, I think that's not how we're going to do it.
But they do. They get to the first train car.
They do.
And then you feel good for them. And then they hit the second train car, and sure enough, he freezes up because he sees his fellow baseball players. And then what threw me off a little bit was that when they're in the dark and they're all kind of just like paused, looking at everyone. Everyone's they're looking at the zombies. The zombies are like looking for them. All of a sudden, the baseballs fall and distract them, and they go after the baseballs. And there's like a close up shot of the baseballs, and I just felt like that was such a like just a specific close-up shot. I thought the baseballs were going to have more of a play
that they would like fall over them or whatever, but maybe that was going to look.
They're going to collect baseballs to throw them later on the road.
Right. I wonder if that was going to look too Benny Hill or something. But then why include the shot? I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it's to have like the little baseball baby being like,
more.
I'm helping. I don't know. Okay, but so they keep going. And so then Suk-woo, ever the crafty fellow, has an idea to use the phones as a decoy. So that's how they're going to get through the next car. And so at this point, they're in a bathroom together. Team Vulnerable is still in a bathroom together. And so Sunghwa gives Suk-woo like a hard time about being like, an evil capitalist. Suk-woo gives him shit about his ringtone. The baseball kid thinks it's funny that Sunghwa doesn't know how to change his ringtone. So like, it's a nice little unity, moment of levity. And again, just keeps them human, I think, and makes me continue to care. And I want them to be able to continue to be friends and make jokes.
Right. So 2 questions. First, what do you all think of the fact that presumably if everyone stays quiet, really everyone could have stayed in their own cabin and not worried about the zombies until we get to whatever station we're stopping at, right? Okay. Because I think obviously the bathroom people, the vulnerable party, are the most vulnerable, because God forbid one of them makes a noise. I mean, those zombies are probably going to crush through that door and kill all of them.
And that's I think that's the problem, right? Because it's a pure numbers game. Even if you tell everybody, okay, be really quiet, don't breathe. If somebody coughs or sneezes or twitches, and people have if you've ever been to a movie theater or whatever, right? People can't be quiet, at least not perfectly quiet. So I think maybe, but it seems to be so punishing in terms of what they can hear. And that I don't know, especially if they're not somewhere that they can safely seal off. How are you going to do that? But to your point, and I do think, if we're watching the movie and they don't have to go rescue the folks in compartment 13, once they clear 9, can they just hang out till they get to Busan? Yes, but then we don't have a movie.
Right. Yeah, because I was also thinking about the fact that we already established earlier in the movie that the zombies don't know how to work doors, right? So, I mean, I guess they could just,
but they break through, they crash through the doors now is the problem.
Right, so they can crash through them. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Although she does have a conversation with her husband while in that bathroom, and they didn't hear that. So.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, listen.
But you're right. We wouldn't have a movie, and also if I'm on the other side of that, if I'm on train or in car 9 and my loved one is in the bathroom in car 13, I'm fighting my way to try to get to her for sure.
Hey, Joe, if they were completely quiet, do you know what couldn't happen next? We don't get the yet another apocryphal line from Sunghwa to Suk-woo about being a dad is all about sacrifice, right?
Oof. Oh, little on the nose, but okay.
Just a little tiny bit.
All right, wait, hold on. I had 2 questions, remember. Second question is... Okay. No, it's okay. Now that we know for sure that we're already through a couple of cars. We've already cleared them. What do you all think of their fight strategy? And Laura, I'm gearing this more towards you because we've already talked about, we got our melee fighter, we got our ranged fighter with the baseball kid, and then we got Suk-woo, coming up on our rogue. Do we think that their 3-person fighting style there is the 3-person team you'd go with, or would you try to switch it up?
You need a munitions expert.
Yeah, no, I felt like they could have done more, and they I know there's time is against them. They need to get to car 13, but I felt like they did not take a lot of time in car 9 to really strap up. They were going to cover ourselves in tape, and we got a baseball bat and we're going to punch the shit out of people, and that was I kind of wanted them to find and that goes to Ryan's point about the the hard focus on the baseballs is they really didn't grab anything along the way to really help fight these up.
For example, taken a baseball bat,
right.
But I guess, the way to hand wave it is there's no time. We got to whatever. But yes, I hear you. Is it an optimized party? No. Do I have notes? Yes.
It's
where's their magical sniper?
Yeah, I was gonna say they definitely need a mage class. With them,
where's their druid?
Sure, so.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they're impervious to necrotic damage. Anyways, so yes. Hey guys, I'm a nerd. Okay. So right. So they're going to use the tunnels to try to work with them because they have not actually stopped to, as Joe has made note, prepare really in any other way. So. But yeah, so we're going to be, being a dad's about sacrifice. Okay, put that away for later. So the baseball guy updates the cheerleader. And you guys, this is not good because the bad guy, COO, overhears and is like, we're not going to let them into the car.
Right.
What are you talking about? And okay, actually, so I'm gonna go back to that video essay I pointed to from Accented Cinema about this movie. I want to take the temperature from you guys. I'm going to tell you something that they mentioned and then just get your reaction to it. So this COO guy, right, is the ostensible villain to the extent that we have a villain in the piece. However,
right.
If you're in the front car, you hear that a bunch of people are coming from the rear car and they've been going through a gauntlet of zombies. And the people turn very fast. Is it that crazy that he doesn't want to let them in? And how do we feel about that? It makes you feel bad, right? But
of course, because you also don't at this point, they don't still really truly understand how the infection works either, right? Sure, you're seeing people get attacked and getting turned into zombies, but you still don't know if it's it could be an airborne thing or something like that.
I think at this point we know how they're turning though, right? Because they had that big fight in the train station where people were getting bit and turning, whereas Suk-woo literally was somehow magically holding, a zombie for a solid 30 seconds without that zombie managing to bite him. So at that point, I think it's pretty clear that it's
but still,
it's a bite that does.
Even if it's a bite, if these people are going through, Joe, what do you do?
Yeah, so I think that's a great point. And I think in the moment, I just have to be real with myself. I would be hesitant to let those people in. However, I will also note that damn, they turn into zombies real fast. And so I think that there's something to be said for if they get all the way to that door. And we're not at this point, in the retelling of the synopsis right now. But just to jump ahead to that point, they are outside that door long enough that I'd be like, they ain't infected y'all because they'd be zombies by now, so let them in.
But what about
that's my
what
thing.
about Drew Barrymore at the beginning, who has time to sneak on the train and bandage her wound and stuff?
Yeah. So you could make that argument, but none of them were really aware of that.
That's a good
right?
point. That is a good point.
So everyone they've seen turns fucking fast.
True.
And I just think in that situation, but maybe you're not thinking logically either, right? You're scared as hell.
Course.
These people just ran through cars of zombies.
Right.
We've seen how effective those zombies are at making other zombies.
Right.
In my head, I'm probably thinking, ain't no way you guys didn't get bit because that just doesn't seem possible.
I know.
So I'm probably saying, help what's big brick dude's name again?
Sungwa.
I'm probably yelling at them. Everyone go help his ass, shut that door, and y'all can stay in there and we'll see if you turn or not.
God. Yeah.
I will say after that door gets open, I fully agree, they seemed really peeved about it, the people getting in, but I fully agree with the whole go up to the vestibule and you got to chill in there.
Totally.
They were super offended by that. I'm like, the fuck you offended about?
It's in fact even safer because it's a buffer.
You're safe. Who cares? Yeah.
I agree. I think, so we're not quite there because we still also have the cool moment. Let me give everyone a really hard time about going out of order. But okay, so at this point, Team Trio has reunited with Team Vulnerable, and they have figured out, which is actually quite crafty, that they're going to crawl across the luggage racks to get through the next gauntlet.
In 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes, yes. And so,
ain't no way. No,
but they're gonna do their
chance.
darndest. So, and actually, most of them do make it across. The homeless guy slips. Suan, being Suan, wants to go help him. Suk-woo says no, but in some character growth, he goes to go rescue the homeless guy on her behalf. It's still very scary. So they get out of the tunnel and everybody else has made it out, but those two are still stuck. And there's like, a suspenseful moment when they're getting ready to run, but then the homeless guy accidentally steps on a soda can. Oops. And so then they have to like run. And so
yeah, I think I said to Nina, banana peel right before he stepped on it, because it was so like obvious.
I thought really funny. I thought in the East they were much better about not littering. What is this nonsense? Yeah. But anyways, okay. Yeah. So Songhwa is holding the door. The next one's stuck. So Yongguk, the baseball kid, calls cheerleader Jinhee over to open the door, but the steward or attendant or whatever who's still alive is holding her hand over her mouth, so they won't let her answer. And compartment 15, which is the safe compartment, like breaks her phone. So won't even say like, you can't come inside. They're just like, we're not going to talk to you anymore.
And they've literally barricaded the doors at this point. They're using like straps. Bungee. They're using they're bungeeing it shut from that side. Right. They have straps tied around it so it can't be opened.
So one of the older sisters has made it into compartment 15. One of them is still with Team Vulnerable. So the COO is like trying to keep them all out. As we were talking about a moment ago, there's like this big struggle of like, are they going to let them in? Are they going to let them out? And so as this is happening and the COO actively chooses to not let them in, Songhwa, your boy, is finally bitten because everybody in 15 is being really scared and won't let them in while there's time. So COO still tries to keep them out. They force their way, but like everybody forces their way in. They are, to your earlier point, like everybody who just came in, they force their way in. The younger sister sees her older sister, Ingi, out, where they're all like still waiting to get in, and they're like, let her in. Suan is crying. The COO sees this little girl crying, but is unmoved. He's like, too bad, right. Yeah. So, the glass is breaking and like the pregnant wife comes back to be with Songhwa and he's still holding the door. And so he tells like Seok-woo, please take my wife away. And they have like a nice little moment. And so then like Songhwa's like, by the way, need the baby hope. But like, whatever it is, I don't know what the actual name is. But so the zombies break through. Songhwa dies like valiantly holding them back. Like even as he's turning, he's still holding them back. It's like heroic.
And I guess that is an example of when the turn did not happen quickly.
Right, so because he has the force of will. Yeah. He's just that good of a guy. But so, okay. So Team Good Guys burst through the door anyway, except the old woman shakes her head. She can't make it. She's going to be an altruist and she's choosing to stay behind. So they close the door. So Seok-woo.
Did you guys have a question? So they're like you said, they're fighting with, car 15 to get in, right? And car 15 is telling them to like go fuck themselves. Yes. Did you guys kind of wonder why they weren't like a little bit closer to that door to get through? Because the old woman and
which one?
I'm terrible with these names, but the daughter,
Suan,
the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it just felt that was one of the few times where it felt a little contrived to me that like, why were you guys not already, you're not helping stop the zombies from coming through. Like the two heroes are, right?
Right.
But why aren't you two like right up on that door ready to burst through as soon as it's open?
Because I guess they'd be in the way. Right? Like maybe.
Yeah, but like they were like really far away from it. You know what I mean?
Her knees hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know.
I just thought that was kind of because both of them were the Suan and the old
we've
woman
already
were
established
like a solid like 15 steps back. And I was like,
Suan,
get up there
we've established Suan should be on a leash. Like she doesn't know where to stand.
Right. Yeah.
I have no excuses for the old woman who, like we said,
I was just curious.
No, I have no good answer. But has decided to remain behind. She's gonna die. So then Seok-woo goes up to COO and cold cocks him in the face, and he's like, we could have saved them, which is also quite a difference for him since not too long ago he was singing the tune of look out for yourself. So then the COO in the bitchiest, not bitchest move of all time is like, Seok-woo's infected, you have to throw him off the train. And like and Seok-woo's literally standing there, he looks totally normal and he's like, what? Like, okay. So then as Joe pointed out, the steward tells the new people to move to the vestibule and everybody's panicking and they're like, get vote. And so like the homeless guy is really angry. They're yelling at this like crying pregnant woman, this crying little girl. To your point, I would be very happy to be part of Team Vestibule, but I guess it's just like the social shaming cuts very deep.
Yeah.
And I guess there's this whole
lot of trauma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, by the by, so we've left this old woman behind, and for a little bit of context in what is coming up next, there's a piece that I read that we'll cite in the show notes. I want to keep the momentum, so I'm not going to stop to look who it is. So I'm sorry, but we will cite them in the notes.
Okay.
But they were talking about, just for a little bit of context, that like, so post-fascism, Korea moved very quickly to industrialism, capitalism, and part of the consequence of that has been that there is a sizable elderly population in Korea that is not really being taken care of, that has been left behind and living in poverty. That while you think of like in Japan, for example, there's still very much a culture of like taking care of your elders. Apparently that is not really the case as much in Korea now. And so that this bit where like the elderly woman is quite literally left behind is maybe part of that. So I think that was pretty interesting because I had no idea. But so anyways, some people have taken notice of this, specifically the younger sister of the old woman who has just sacrificed herself has this soliloquy for her sister. She watches her as a zombie and is like, you idiot, like, why did you do that? You didn't have to do that. But like goes up and says thank you to her and is really, really angry at everybody who was being a little bitch in compartment 15. So she opens the door. So compartment 15 is donezo.
Invaded.
Yep. And so
man, it's just as soon as Seng-Hwa dies, they just start dropping like flies,
do.
right?
So we go through, so they're going through another tunnel, and it's actually really great because we see her open the door, right? But then as we're going through this other tunnel, we go to the vestibule where the rest of the surviving members of Team Vulnerable and Team Hero are. And they're just listening to everyone on the other side die. And it is brutal. Yeah. It is tough. Yeah. But shouldn't have let the old lady die then, I guess. So anyways.
Avenging angel afterwards.
That's right. Yeah. So anyways, respect your grandma. And so we cut to outside, and the conductor is still trying to reach Busan. He's actually a very good dude. Even though he did not know what was going on his train, he is going to try to get like the 5 people that are still alive to safety. 6. Anyways, so they're going full speed ahead, but Busan's also on fire, so that's not good. There's sad music. It is bad. So while everything is terrible, Suk-woo takes Suwon's hand and is basically like, happy birthday, I guess. Like, I'm going to take you to your mom no matter what. And then in this very heartbreaking moment, she's like, I practiced the song in my recital just for you, and that's why I couldn't sing it because you weren't there. And he's like, ka-chunk, like you can see his heartbreak, right? And she's like, will you stay with me this time? And he's like, yes. Okay, we're going to call your bluff later. But for now, Suk-woo goes into the bathroom, one of the many bathrooms, to call the ex. She doesn't answer. But while he's on the phone, his baby subordinate from the beginning does call, and he answers. And I maybe wasn't listening to this right, so I'm hoping you guys can sort of tell me the implications of this. But so Kim, who is the subordinate, is like, Busan has succeeded in their primary defense, that it all started at YS Biotech, the centerpiece of their plan. And Kim is like, this isn't our fault, right? Like, we only did what we were told. Is this my fault? And Suk-woo is like, no. And he doesn't say it like, this is my fault, but it's sort of implied. This is my fault. So Kim is sobbing. Yeah. He says, thank you, ends the call. So are we supposed to know specifically what has happened with this? Or is it just sort of abstract of like, because of like shady financial chicanery, this has happened for some reason?
Ryan, do you know for sure? Because I have a theory.
I don't know for sure, but I'm like, what I put together. That's all I got.
Brothers.
Yeah. No, you first, Ryan. Because I want to hear.
I was going to say, because when they're talking about, in the beginning, they're talking about whatever that news is, and they're showing pictures of like dead fish. I assume they know there's like some issues gone on, and they're going to sell off and like wash their hands of whatever the situation is right away.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am guilty of missing, and I should have rewound a check. But in the beginning, when they're liquidating that stock or that holding, I'm guilty of not catching exactly what they were liquidating. But when that call came later, I assumed that beginning piece where they're moving funds around involved an investment in whatever company has caused this to happen. That was kind of what I assumed.
Right. And we think that for some reason, because they moved it, it led to like some sort of safety breach or something.
So what I wasn't sure about is if I don't think because they moved the funds, but I think they had inside information to either get out of the company because they knew that they knew that they were the cause of a disease, or
authorities.
Or conversely, I wasn't sure if they moved money into the company because they had a hot tip that maybe they were the guys that were going to have the vaccine. Right. But I think more likely the former than the latter was, is this our fault because we had a hot tip that this company caused this and all we did was sell
versus
instead
like
of
tell
calling
someone
up.
and
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
That makes sense to me.
But
I buy that.
But again, like I said, I'm guilty of missing in the beginning what exactly they were selling.
I know what they were selling. I'm just not going to tell you. Okay.
Fair enough. I deserve that.
So anyway, so the guy's like, thanks. And he ends the call presumably to like go eat ice cream. And so then Suk-woo like runs the water in the bathroom and he finally lets himself cry, which he hasn't been able to do. I wrote because toxic masculinity, but whatever. But as he's crying,
I think that's also like a cue that he does think it's their fault.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He totally.
Like, that's part of it.
He's
not just breaking down because of the situation. He's breaking down because he is the situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very clear even on the call when he said like, "Oh, it's not little baby guy's fault. It's my fault." But he didn't give that guy that release, which is too bad. But anyways, maybe it was too painful to say out loud. So his crying, like many employees, I've done this bathroom crying, comes to an abrupt stop because the train stops and more disaster is imminent. So the conductor has had to brake because there's like this thick, acrid smoke. And they see that the tracks are blocked by another train and it's on fire. So that's not great. So the conductor is like, okay, he makes this very calm announcement. I don't think he knows that he's down to like between 6 to 8 passengers, but is like, due to a train blockage, we've stopped at, this whatever station and we're going to await rescue. So we see that because they're assholes and somehow the cockroaches always survive, the COO and the bad steward guy have like made it into a bathroom, and are hiding, but so they're still around and part of the mix. And so the conductor is like, Godspeed, I'm going to basically try to go find another train to like clear the blockage. I'm probably not going to make it, but I'm going to do my best and good luck. So he goes to go. Yeah,
I know this is like their big like action-y sequence, whatever thing, but like every time we hit this section of the movie, I'm like, God damn, how much more time is left in this fucking movie?
Really?
I honestly...
I do it every time. I don't know what it is about this movie, but like at this moment, this is always where I'm just like, man.
Could it be Ryan because the momentum has stopped?
Faster. You just nailed it. That's great.
I did the same thing because I think I actually hit pause right here to check the time and then walked Loki, and then came back to the movie because
his dog,
Nina
not Tom
said,
Hiddleston. Anyways,
to be clear, my dog, because it's actually a running joke between me and Nina that about an hour into a movie, I always think, oh, there's probably 5 or 10 minutes left. And then I'll walk my dog. And she goes, I think Loki needs to go out. And I was like, no, I mean, we're almost done. And she was like, check how much time is left. And I hit pause and there's like 29 minutes. And I was like, all right, shit, I'm going to walk the dog.
Okay, I have to confess this time I also took a phone call at the same time. Anyways, but that was a conscious choice.
Yeah. The movie just, it's pretty segmented. It's not a knock on the movie at all, but like there are opportunities to take a pause, walk away, and you haven't lost anything,
Yes.
So.
And maybe it's just like approaching the situation too. It kind of like this train slows down and like,
you've made it to the rear of the train or to the front of the train. You've beat Snowpiercer. What now?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
No,
How do you top that?
It's true though, but like to Laura's point, I mean, it is very much more so than some other movies, especially horror movies, where the momentum kind of keeps flowing the whole way. This is very much like an Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 movie, right? So you can have you can have your intermission. You know, like it's almost like a video game, right? You're like coming up on like the next like the cut scene and the next station to clear of zombies.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Right. That's true.
So
That's true.
okay, to that point, so the conductor, good guy conductor, who's clueless but we like anyway, goes to go look for a working train. Pregnant wife is like, is there going to be a rescue? And Suk-woo's like, yeah, but we gotta go. so he's still trying to like, heat the piece. So basically, Team Good gets out of the train, which is now Suk-woo, Soo-on, homeless guy, Young-guk, the baseball kid, Jin-hee, the cheerleader, and the pregnant woman, again, whose name I've lost track of, and I'm so sorry. So the conductor finds a working train, which is great, but there's so many zombies on it. Not great. But like, okay, so he's working on it. Meanwhile, the COO and the steward are in the bathroom, and the steward is like, the coast is clear, and the COO is like, yeah, you go ahead. And so, as has been his pattern, the COO sacrifices the steward. Like, the coast is not clear. There's 80 gajillion zombies. So throws him to the wolves so he can make a break.
Pushes him in the back.
Truly.
Yeah. Pushes him in the back and makes a break.
Yeah, it's not good. So then Team Good, meanwhile, is on the move. And so the conductor is coming to clear the track, but like, there's a big different on fire train is moving and coming down the track. There's lots of trains on fire. So Team Good finds an empty compartment, rocks. And okay, I did love this, that like there's all the rocks that are rumbling on the ground. Like it's like completely covered in rocks. It's great. But so the big on fire train derails and crashes into all the other trains. So first we check in with Young-guk, baseball kid, and Jin-hee, the cheerleader, and they're okay. They think everybody else is dead. We probably think they're not, but that's fine. So they're like, we got to keep going. And they go on a different train. The glass is breaking. And so the COO jumps on and throws Jin-hee, our Selena Gomez cheerleader, to a zombie so he can keep going. And you asked me to stop you when we hit the one that I thought maybe would make it that didn't. That would be Jin-hee. I thought maybe we would see the baseball player sacrifice to make sure she lived. That was kind of my working theory. I could see that. Although since she likes boys, she's a whore. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. But anyways. Good point. Yeah, no. But like, I thought maybe like the cliche literal going down swinging might happen. Because he's got that. Actually. Yeah, because of the baseball bat.
Well, guess what, Joe? You can have your cake and eat it too, because Young-guk, our little baseball baby boy, fights off the zombie, but he like holds Jin-hee as she dies, but like she changes in 2 seconds, and then like, so he's like crying and apologizing, but then she changes and like bites him and kills him right away.
Right. And that's a great long shot too. That's like, what I mean? The shot's like way down the row, watching them from a long lens, and then she immediately transforms.
I love how like unsentimental it is, because like how many movies have we seen of little like holding the dying lover? What?
Yeah, right. And you're in their faces.
So guess what happens when you do that? You die in 2 seconds. Like you got to keep going.
Yeah, but you know what? You had it earlier though with I forget the name, but Brick Wall Man. I mean, you do have a little. So like maybe they didn't want to do it twice so close together, because
that's a good point. No, that's a good point.
I named the baseball bat. Its name is Home. Anyways. Okay. So meanwhile, we cut over to everybody else. Suk-woo wakes up because Soo-on once again is crying, and she's like, "Wake up, Dad." So these 4 survived, which is good, but they're like not in a good situation. So so we see that they're all alive. Immediately, we go to good guy conductor, who has got his train going, and he's going, and the COO bad guy is running for him, but like stops and like breaks his foot or something. And so the conductor like goes to go save him and like try, and it gets bit trying to save the COO's life, and he's like, "Help me." And the COO like doesn't even look back and keeps going because he's the world's biggest dick. I mean, also, what
Yeah.
are you gonna do? But
At the
It's
same
a big
time,
part of a
it's very
pattern.
much like, I mean, it felt very akin to when he threw that guy to the zombies to save
this
himself.
is the third person he's thrown
similar.
to zombies in a matter of minutes.
You're right. Yeah.
Love it.
The end with him is very.
He's.
I don't know. The pace of his evil really picks up at the end.
It truly does. But you guys, he's the real essential worker. He's the one who has to make it out. So Team Good, which is now down to 4. It's Soo-won. It's Suk-woo. It's the pregnant woman, and it's the homeless guy. They are trapped in between like smushed trains. So Suk-woo is able to like climb out to like get the lay of the land and see what's up. He's going to try to pull everybody out, but the wreckage shifts so he can't get to them. Meanwhile, the wreckage is such that like the windows of one of the trains is like suspended over the group, and there are a bunch of zombies like whose weight is starting to crush it so that they're gonna come through the window. The homeless guy, as they're getting, so like, Suk-woo is like trying to pull them out, but like he can't get to them. So the zombies start bursting through the window, and then the homeless guy sacrifices himself so that the pregnant woman and Soo-won can get away. And of course the timing works out. It's great that Suk-woo is able to then sift through the wreckage that he needs to get these two out. So then of course, like, the homeless man was not long for the world anyway, because then the train smushes everything, and Team Good is down to 3. So now they're on foot. There's more running zombies. I wrote down the rocks make such satisfying crunching noises. So they're running. What?
ASMR,
yes.
just like ASMR.
Okay,
those, like,
I am
rocks.
not an ASMR person. Like the whispering thing freaks me out. But yes, I would I listen to that for like 8 hours of the crunchy rocks? Yes. And Joe, congratulations to you, because at this point, Suk-woo finally has learned, and he's carrying Soo-won while they're running.
Yes, that's right. He finally figures it out. He's like, maybe I should stop, stop leaving her 20 feet away.
So they're running. They get to a train, and I am so impressed with Mrs. Sung-hwa as this pregnant woman. I would have like laid down and died already, but she's running.
Hauling ass.
Yes. So it's incredible. So Soo-won gets put on the train first, then the pregnant woman, and then Suk-woo, again in character growth, is getting on last. And then, we have this really great like zombie rat king thing that starts happening as like one holds onto the back of the train, and then that one like holds onto the back of that one, and it's like this big, gross, like writhing massive zombie. Did you guys love that as much as I did? I thought that was awesome.
Oh yeah, no, that was so cool. And they're like climbing on each other's backs, because it only takes one to get up onto that thing to like
exactly.
It was great.
And God bless Suk-woo, who probably weighs like 140 pounds soaking wet, like jumps down to like go kick them off, and you're like, no baby, it's not gonna happen, but somehow he does it, and it's great. So you're like, okay, this is cool. And so the 3 remaining members of Team Good are now on the outside of this train. Suk-woo goes into the conductor department, and the COO is like about to turn. At first you think he's like actually a zombie, but then it's like, so like Suk-woo closes the door, and then it's like, oh fuck, he knows how to open the compartment door. So he does open it, and he approaches them, and he's like, Mister, I'm scared. Take me home. My mommy's waiting for me in Busan. And it sounded like, Joe, were you going to say something specific about this moment, or what happens right after?
No, I mean, I was just going to say, like, at this moment, all I know is Nina was screaming at the TV, throw him off the fucking train!
Yes, right?
Well, what I will say about this moment is that he actually has a scene similar to this where an old man cries for his mommy in
Do we
Seoul
feel
Station,
bad for the old man crying
movie.
for his mommy?
No, not at all.
No, I meant in Seoul Station.
I'm sorry.
I don't feel bad for him in this one, no.
Yeah.
But
you do feel bad for him in Seoul Station, because he's like a good guy for the most part.
I mean, it takes a real douchebag to have my heart turn cold when they're crying for their mother as they're dying, right? But okay, but so he's like, so Suk-woo's like, bruh, you're infected. He's like, no, and then he immediately turns, right? So then Suk-woo grapples him. But then what's actually kind of cool is that like, so it's again character growth, and he has chosen the path of Sung-hwa because the bad COO, like, hears Suan scream, but he goes and he starts to go for her, but he starts attacking the pregnant woman. And even though it's not his daughter who's like in direct jeopardy, Seok-woo tackles him. The pregnant woman, like, you know, they work together and like Seok-woo goes to save her. So like he's learned to take care of other people. And the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the reward that he gets for this is that the COO bites him. Daddy, sobs Suan. Yeah. Like she's watching the whole thing. It is very traumatic. So Seok-woo holds him, but in the meantime, like chains himself to the train. He throws the COO off, which is great. He pulls himself up, but like, so now he's infected and he has to make a decision. So he runs for the conductor cabin and he shows Suan and the pregnant woman the brake. And he's like, when it's safe, pull this. And I was like, both of you two assume it's going to ever be safe to pull this, but sure. Pull this.
Oh, I thought you were going to point out, honestly, Laura, like, I did think it was a little funny that this financial advisor was like mansplaining how to like stop this train to this. That like, I was like, the fuck, dude? Like, first of all, obviously, like it's like, but like also what gives you like besides just being a guy, you really haven't shown any qualifications to be like no one, it's not like, you know, the conductor died coaching this guy on how to run the train or something, you know? It was. Right. I just thought it was kind of funny that he was like, my last moment is to mansplain to this pregnant woman how to pull the e-brake.
What if I told you that a lot of mansplaining is just white noise and it's like on Westworld, you know, like this doesn't look like anything to me. like
Laura reflecting back on this 2-hour podcast, going, Joe did that like 10 times to me, and now he's talking about it.
Oh no, I'm Bernard. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to sit with that after this for a little bit, I think. Well, Joe and Trent.
I know that's more commentary on my self-growth than yours and what I need to do more.
We're doing it. Songhwa would be so proud of us. Okay. So he's like, yes, when it's safe, pull this. I know this as a fund manager. And so then he goes to Suan, who is like wrenching right in this last bit. She is like feral screaming. It is sad. So he's like, it's okay. Look at me, sweetie. Listen to me. Stay with her no matter what. It'll be safe in Busan. Is it? But sure. So Suan is like, you know, don't go. It's my fault. Everybody's crying. It's horrible. So he pulls away and he seals them inside. Also, you can just, like, my heart got, like, a hole punched through its chest when, like, he has to make the choice to leave as she's, like, screaming for him, right? But, like, he ambles away. He's crying. Everybody's crying. He goes around the corner and actually, like, and so you can hear her screaming over this really sad piano music, and it's awful. But then it's nice because there's a flashback to Seok-woo, and it's, like, all in white and beautiful. And that's a little cliche, but we don't care because it's still very sweet. Right. And, like, he's holding Suan as a baby, presumably for the first time, and he's remembering and smiling. And as he's, like, finally turning and smiles, he uses like the last of the willpower he has to throw himself off the train, which we see in silhouette and is like very classy, I think, and was just like lovely.
So good. Yeah. Such a
beautiful and
great shot. Just to show something that you just, you know what I mean? Like without having to really show it.
Gorgeous.
I don't really
gorgeous.
Like it,
Okay. So bye, Seok-woo, thank you for your service. So, you know, the women are crying. It's bad. So the train continues to go down the track and we get this exterior of like, you know, this beautiful, lush, empty countryside. So like, maybe it's going to be okay. And then, so, you know, they're still crying. They're crying. So, there's a bridge and they hit a blockade. And it's not the good kind of blockade. It's the kind of scary blockade where there's like a lot of dead military and civilians alike strewn about and fire. Yeah. Like this has recently been bad. But so they get off, they're holding hands. There's a shot of a river that the bridge is over that's got a lot of bodies in it too. Like not good. Pregnant woman looks like maybe has a contraction. Maybe she's just really sad, but like they're not in good shape. So they're walking along the tracks into the tunnel that's behind them, which is completely dark. And you're like, oh no. So we go to the scope of an alive, not zombie military sniper guy. And they're watching this woman and child come and like, you know, we hear this conversation over the radio, check for infection. And they're like, where did you come from? They're unable to verify the visual and they're instructed to shoot to kill. And at this moment, I'm like, and I'm afraid now to say anything because I don't think I know the order that movies came out anymore. Is this pre or post The Mist?
Oh, this is The Mist is 2007.
Okay. So it's really okay. Yeah. Whoops. So yes, I'm afraid in this moment of like, oh no, we're gonna have a Mist ending, and that's, you know. So we don't, because as the sniper is about to fire, he can hear Suan finally singing the song from the recital, and I didn't hear what it was the first time she was singing it, but now she gets far enough into the chorus that you can hear that it's Aloha Oi, which is the song Farewell to Thee, that is like really beautiful and has its own really rich history. But so because they're singing, they're like, oh, it's survivors approaching, and the alive military like go run to get them as Farewell to Thee plays gently over the credits.
And Nina actually cried
it's so
during
beautiful.
Yeah, it's really good.
She was crying when that little girl was singing that.
It's so sweet.
I have questions.
Okay.
I'm just gonna, I know we got to get into other stuff, but going back to the conductor, anyone else impressed by this motherfucker's survival skills? Like, holy crap, that guy's like on his own, like half the time. And I was like, first of all, wrap that man in bubble wrap. Why is no one trying to like save his ass? Right? Like literally like the entire train should be like trying to save him. But like this, I mean, and I say this as like not a large person. This little man is just running, like all 5'5" of him is just running around doing his thing and like saving the day. Like talk about like the true hero of that movie that really does not.
He got them a working train.
Yeah, and like just dodging zombies too. It's not like he had an easy path. I mean, that guy just like calmly was like, zombie apocalypse, but I'm the conductor, so here we go. I mean, like, talk about like a linchpin of your survival that no one really like tried to. So I don't know. I kind of wanted to get your guys.
He gets the paper plate award for most improved because he starts this with like not even knowing when they get to that first station that anything has happened, you know, and then goes from that to like, okay, I'm going to single-handedly save the protagonists of our film.
Yeah, and like he's not overly athletic. No. It's not like he has a gun or something. He's just like. He's older and he's just kind of scrambling around and doing his thing. And he does it really calmly too. It's not like a frenetic energy or anything like that. He's like,
he's
just
a captain. He's the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
Except it's a train. And that's my profound thought for the evening.
Well, Laura, I wonder if he's our mage class that we were missing, you know?
He is a wizard. He's a glass cannon, right? He can do the stuff at the second he gets touched. God. Boom. And there you have your 4. That is the optimal build. Thank you.
Yeah. So that leads me to my second question. If you have to choose you can draft 2 people to keep it with how we had the 3 heroes on the train rushing through. If you could draft anyone from Train to Busan to be your 2, assuming you have to be the 3rd hero, who are you picking to be on your team to survive the train?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I feel like there's the obvious answer, but I want to go with something more interesting.
I know. Are you thinking of
everyone's thinking Brick Wall?
Yeah, I mean Sungwoo because he's going to get me almost to the end, and then he's going to sacrifice himself so I can make it. Right. And then,
but then who do you pair him with?
Maybe okay, maybe. So how about Suan, because she's got plot armor. So as long as I'm like physically attached to her and don't have to sacrifice myself for her, I'm going to make it to the end.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. I mean, she basically saves lives by singing. So it's like
she's the bard.
You know what I mean? Yeah, she is. She's the bard.
But yeah, definitely Songhua. Maybe the conductor, because he knows how to like operate the train. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to operate the train.
Those were my 2. Those were my 2 that I was thinking. I also think the conductor possibly has like extra luck or something because it seems like he was like, until he totally gets like fucked over by like the bad guy, you know, he really just kind of like slides through, you know?
He does. He just shuffles on Buffalo. What?
Do you think there's like an active sort of decision to make him like that character and not to satisfy the story, but you know, okay. So in the grand scheme of things, we were talking about like, you know, when we were talking in the Discord, messaging about like what I brought up, that whole thing about like, is this a war movie? Is this about the fairy thing? Like, was that like an active decision on the director's part to make this captain sort of like this man who takes care of everyone and watches over everyone? Since if you were to say this is about the ferry crash, that captain went to jail for life for murdering all those
So this
people.
is kind of the wish fulfillment of, this is in the way that Songhua was the model father. This is the model, not bureaucrat, but like, you know, like authority figure who is going to actually be benevolent and use their power for good.
Yeah.
That's a great point, Ryan.
I mean, do you think that's,
I didn't read the article, as I already revealed to you all, but I like your theory crafting, and I'm going to say yes.
I love that.
Much.
You know, without that background of that article, I just assumed he was the needed plot device to give the story hope, you know, because if the conductor dies in the first 20 minutes, we ain't taking the train to Busan anymore. We're you know, trains, planes, and automobiles. We're left with automobiles at this point, unless someone's the pilot.
Says the girl in the commercial, right? For corn or butter or whatever it is.
I think, taco
Yes.
I think she's choosing between hard shell and soft shell tacos or something.
Thank you. Yes. Not butter or corn. Yeah. Okay. Not Sean Connery, you guys. Okay. I have something that is not going to be the right thing to sign off on, but maybe you can stick this somewhere else, Ryan, of like, I just want to read a little passage from one of the pieces that we're going to link in the show notes. And I just want to hear your reaction to it, just if you guys have anything. But so they say basically, Yeon Sang-ho's film has a uniqueness in its understanding of character motivation and humanity. It doesn't commend anyone directly, but instead presents the chain of events that surround an individual's decision-making for better or worse. The ideology that there are only good or bad choices, not people, is ever present as the bonds between the train passengers evolve, change, and or regress throughout the duration of their journey. So basically, good or bad choices, not good or bad people. Do you buy that as like an argument that is made in the film? And if so, why or why not?
Well, I think it kind of comes down to how do you interact with this movie though too?
Say
you know
more.
what I mean? Because it's like, well, so as far as like, this is what I love about foreign films. I get a foreign film that comes across my plate. I watch it and I sort of take it at face value because I don't understand the cultural references behind it. Right. And then I go and I investigate and I find out more stuff like with The Wailing. Like there's so much going on behind the scenes with The Wailing that people in Korea understand, but I didn't understand at all. Like having, you know, the devil be a Japanese guy, an old Japanese guy up in the mountains, that sort of thing. But the same goes with this film. I feel like Korean people will interpret this movie differently than I would. And I sort of have to take it at face value in a way of like, yeah, you're right. That is right. It's like people making choices, whether they're good or bad. It doesn't matter whether those people are inherently good or bad. They're making choices and those choices are just falling the way they fall. But I think it really kind of comes down to the individual viewer and how they want to play with this movie. Because some people will just go, dude, it's a zombie movie on a fast moving train and they're trying to get the hell out. And like, that's what's awesome about it. I love it. But it's like, I look at it and I go, I interpret it more as like the internal fight for the father and how he will develop. And all of these different characters around him sort of are variations of himself fighting with himself. You know what I mean? And then that kind of plays out for a whole movie. I know some people don't watch it like that though.
Right,
you know what I mean? And that's like,
I like that though. Just the interpretation of the whole thing as a morality play is cool.
Yeah. So it's like, I agree with that sentiment of what you just said about, you know, they're just decisions and they're not really bad or good people. They're just people. But I don't, when I sit down to watch the movie, I don't look at it like that. I don't think of it like that way. I think of it as more of just like, you know, this question of like whether this father will become the ideal father for his daughter. And then all of these different people around him sort of doing their thing, being variations of what he could become or what he is or what he has become or what, you know, or what he was, you know what I mean?
Joe?
So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm in the same camp. I don't, and actually I would disagree with what you read to an extent because of specifically Sun Hwa. I think that there wasn't much in him that was ever bad. I don't really remember him making it. I would say that's like a strong argument against what that article stated. Him and his pregnant wife, I don't recall them ever doing anything where you were like, well, that's like a bad decision. I would argue they were put out as the archetype for good in the movie.
I actually agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think that there is, with the exception of the handful of times we talked about on the other side of it too, the COO, who is pretty much entirely evil, right? Except for like the couple things you're like, well, I guess I can sort of understand where he's coming from with that. But if we do buy it as morality play, then I actually think it's important that they are more stock of inherent good and bad than like people making choices.
As a follow-up to, that question of whether, it's just good and bad choices, good and bad people, and Ryan's talk of transformation of the father, is he just Tim Allen in the Santa Claus?
Nailed it. Film analysis. Someone give this man an honorary PhD.
What I love about this movie too, though, is
parallels.
There's so much going on in this movie, and what's cool is like we can talk about like the father thing, but then also like what about like the politics of the movie too, right? And so like in the beginning there's a lot of like capitalistic sort of zombification of their lives, right? Where he's like in the beginning, you see the Burger King and he's eating like, crappy fast food.
Yeah, and in Santa Claus, they're at the Denny's because dad burned dinner.
That's right. You're right.
I'm going to do all the parallels as you go.
Okay, I'll keep going. He's in
the mom drops the kid off for Christmas and all he wants to do is he's like, do I have to go inside? Do I have to hang out with dad?
You're the worst. No, but he's in even think about it too. Like he's in the car garage. He's surrounded by tons of like fancy cars, right? Goes up to his apartment. He gives his daughter a second Wii. He has tons of business suits in his closet. Yeah. Like there's like a lot of that going on where it's like, it's like the zombie. He's already like a zombie. He's basically like a zombie at that point.
And actually, I think that's a great point, Ryan, because often, as, for example, like vampires as metaphor for sex, just like sometimes cryptids have different shorthands, that zombies do tend to be a critique, at least in like, the Romero tradition, as a critique of consumerism. Right. So I think it takes that baseline and then builds on it, not for just like that one school of thought, but then, the entire idea of like the capitalist, industrialist societies which beget and encourage consumerism, right?
And don't forget, he called them lemmings at the beginning, right?
Great game. Great game.
I mean, that's, yeah. I have a weird one for you, but when I was watching it, and as the least experienced among us as far as like actual filmmaking and like kind of picking up on like technique and stuff, when I watched it, it really reminded me of Inside Man as far as how it was shot.
Oh, interesting.
Say more.
And like, I don't know if that's right or wrong. I just like, I don't know. Like as I was watching it, just both as far as like color saturation and things like that, like I was watching it and just very much thinking the style was very much in that style.
Yeah.
Right?
You're right. There's a lot of rich color to it.
Yeah. And nice. Like, I really can't dive into it more than that, other than while I was watching it. And sometimes when it felt like a little tighter or a little more claustrophobic, still felt like Inside Man to me for some reason.
Well, it's shot, like we said, the word that kept coming to me was lyrical, which is weird because it's so fast paced, right? That like, it seems like it shouldn't be able to be like that, but it almost sometimes to me felt like ballet. Like it's really, I don't know, it's deliberate the way that people move and the colors are so rich. I feel like I again, like, was making fun of Zack Snyder earlier, but that it's usually like desaturated and very like choppy editing. And we actually, again, have these really beautiful match on action shots and like, creative choices. Yep. The editing is not invisible, which is also like a really bold thing to do in this genre. But I think it paid off, and clearly so did the rest of the viewing public, because again, it's just an incredibly successful film, creatively and financially. So
on a technical level, they also were like one of the first projects to do the LED wall. You know how like the Mandalorian's always advertising that they shoot all their shit with an LED wall on set. These guys had that going outside the windows of the train. when they're shooting inside the car.
Is there a way for lay people / people like me that actually did not know that was a thing? Can you tell, like, is there a way that you can tell, or like a way to point to that technique so that I can see and my mom and dad can see? And
I will link to the BTS video that they include in the DVD extras, because they show that in the DVD extras, and then I can maybe pull up an article about this tech. I don't know if so. Have you heard about this? The LED wall with like Unreal Engine running basically the background
know what Unreal
for TV
Engine
shows.
is, but I didn't.
Okay,
yeah.
so there's like there's been a movement in television and movies where you basically have the stage, and then instead of creating all these sort of set decorations and whatever, they basically just have you on this giant LED wall that takes up like a 180 view of the whole thing. And then they project through Unreal Engine the background to your environment. And so it's used a ton in The Mandalorian. They use it on the Netflix show that only lasted one season.
Like literally every Netflix show?
Basically every Netflix show, I know. But it's been like this technology that they're really pushing, where it's like, oh, we don't have to we don't have to shoot everything in front of a green screen and key everything out. We can literally project this onto LEDs, and then that light can affect everything that's in the scene naturally.
I'm a little afraid
and so
to
this movie's like one of those first
comment on it, because I don't know what that means for like production designers or whatever. So I don't want to be like, hey, I have problems with AI and my stuff, but it's fine for you.
Right. I imagine they have a say in it, because they've got to design the look of the whole thing and everything else. But I have no idea.
It might be exciting, question mark, but I don't know. That's cool. Yeah. It says more though to like the blending of mediums, right? That like video games and TV and film, they're all just kind of bleeding into one another, and it's an exciting time to be alive. If you liked this movie, some of the other Korean horror films that we name dropped at the beginning that we like.
The last time I checked, The Wailing was on Tubi.
Yeah, so The Wailing I think is universally, all three of us are like thumbs up. It's great. It's really funny.
Same year too.
I think it's great.
Of course it is.
Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. Have either of you gents seen?
Oh, I haven't seen that one. That's the found footage
it's a
one, though,
remake of the Canadian movie Grave Encounters, but it's like way better, I think. We've talked about, in Deborah Logan, we talked about being picky about our found footage movies, but it's genuinely scary.
Yeah. I've heard really good things about it.
And another one where like it takes time for you to care about the characters beforehand, and to me it actually is like quite effective. Have either of you seen Tale of Two Sisters? Has an American remake, but the original is much better. See if you can go into it without looking anything up. But that one, especially on a first watch, I thought was like very effective. Anyways, that's what I've got. I'm going to turn any second. So it's been an honor and a privilege.
It has. This has been a great combo. Thanks for spending time with us, everyone. And as always, if you want, you can follow us on social media. We are Terrors of Tubi. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Definitely check out our newsletter and sign up for that, because we love to add extra commentary on, movies that may not make the cut on this podcast. And definitely check out our animated sort of show on YouTube if you're watching the podcast, because the animated show will have a lot more visual references to the movie, and you can enjoy us talking about it there, as well as our cartoon counterparts. Anything else, Joe? Did you want people to follow you anywhere else?
No. I don't do a lot of.
I don't think you do either.
I don't do a lot of social media, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not on socials either. But if you want to hit me up, go into a darkened bathroom, light a candle, and say my name 3 times.
Yeah. All right, Joe, you want to take us out?
Well, I was just going to say, and if anyone wants to, watch the Santa Claus right after Train to Busan and let me know all the parallels, I personally would love to know. I might do it myself. We can share notes.
That's one double feature.
Just saying, same character arc, that's all. Not the same movie, but similar character arc.
I'm only laughing because this is something I would come up with.
I only came up with it during the podcast, and I only keep bringing it up because it's making Laura laugh. On that note, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay terrified, y'all.